Oh,
But like asking him to chill on shit like that is like telling your angry girlfriend to calm down. Like you're just you're throwing fucking napalm onto a fire.
And especially the way you say it. Hey, calm down.
Hey, I would say one thing. If you ever want to get me in 100% in the fucking red, if I'm like doing like kind of like getting jittery, just go, shh, calm down. I will fucking lose my shit. That is one of my. That's one of the like the.
That's a button.
That's one of the chinks in my armor, dude.
Dude, I don't do that to children, let alone like respected friends.
The only person that has done that and has me not be 100% mad at them.
Your mom?
No, Brian from Iron Price. Dude, he used to do this thing. It was completely disarming and hilarious, right? I would just be like, fucking, just like, fuck that motherfucker, fuck you, what the fuck?
Just redlining.
And he would just go, take his finger and just go, shh, and run it like across the top of my lip, just like, shh.
That's hot.
And like,
that would plump me up a little bit. Like I would forget why I was mad.
For 3 seconds, you'd be like, did he really just fucking
Did he caress my lower lip with his fingertip?
And
like
then 2 seconds, you're like,
I felt it move.
You're like, I'm really fucking mad about this. And then the next second hits, you're just like, but that was pretty fucking funny. And it would just deflate all the situations. And he
Humor trumps everything.
He downed a lot of arguments between like me and Travis, or he would just be like, it was so fucking funny. Because he was a dude that rarely got involved in like us bitching. But when he did, he was just like, it was so fucking.
That's so
it worked.
You need that person.
It's like
so
Caesar
bad.
Milan with the dog. He would just be, yeah, basically, yeah.
Which is why Marty's gonna work out. He's a
Zen master.
Yeah,
Marty.
He's the stupidest Zen master I've ever met.
Well,
he's like the low key comic relief.
Marty will also do this thing. I want you to be prepared for this. Marty trips. Now, Marty trips are like you all get to a show, right? You all say you're like playing Virginia. Okay, you all get to the venue, and you're all unloading shit. Marty will be gone. You all came in the same vehicle, right? You're all like you just be gone, and you're like, where the fuck did Marty go?
See, like the drunk guy at the bar that comes back with like 3 new friends and like a bag of fucking Taco Bell.
Take away the drunk, add in weed. There you go. He's like, yo, this is fucking so-and-so. He's going to let us borrow all his gear tonight. You're like, what? He's like, and then they're going to take us all back to his place so we can have a place to sleep tonight. And then for some reason, he'll have the world's smallest cup of coffee in his hand.
Fuck yeah, Marty.
Like, where the fuck did you get that? There's like no Dunkin' within like 4 hours of us. He's just like, you're just like, he goes on little adventures and just comes back and you're just like,
He's a nymph.
yeah, you just spend the rest of the day trying to wrap your head around where the fuck that guy went.
He's from other realms.
He wasn't even officially in the band yet, and he was like pitching like cool merch ideas to us. And I'm like, yo, this guy rules.
He's a great idea, man.
I'm sorry for bringing up more sports after.
That's fine.
The sports overload last week. Yeah. But if you remember the '92 Olympics,
what happened last week?
What was which one was '92?
The Dream Team.
Basketball?
Yeah, the '92 Dream Team was
like
Jordan, Magic Johnson,
Pippen.
Larry Bird, Pippen, like the best 12 guys you could ever add like in history on once, and they like just annihilated every other country in the Olympics.
Didn't they make a rule after that?
Well, that was the rule. You could finally have pros in the Olympics. So
they were like, okay, we'll see you.
Yeah, the US was like, all right, like say no more. Like it's your fucking ass. So that was the same year that Lithuania had
that's Serbians.
Yeah, Lithuania had a basketball team, but they couldn't afford uniforms. Jerry Garcia,
fuck yeah,
donated uniforms to the Lithuanian basketball team, and you can take one guess at what they looked like.
Were they tie-dye?
They were tie-dye, and it had a skeleton in a basketball jersey reverse dunking a basketball.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
I've seen that graphic before.
That's sick.
Marty was like, yo, we should make T-shirts or tank tops even better to look like the Lithuania jerseys, but have Sunburster in like that font. And just don't change anything else. Have the same like skeleton dunking a basketball on a tie-dye shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, look it up.
That's cool as shit.
Dude, shout out Marty, man.
Wow. There's one version.
That's fucking tight.
This is just
the color choice.
Ball.
That's even good to tight.
I can't find it. I found the skeleton one, but it was like the only one that's coming
Honestly,
up
dude,
is the globe.
if-
Is the ball.
dude-
There's one.
What if
This is a T-shirt, but
if Jerry Garcia was like,
that's hard.
oh, that's fucking baller as shit,
I would wear that.
I would too.
Yeah.
I don't even like basketball that much
Honestly,
anymore.
if you're like, yo, Jerry Garcia is going to make his jerseys.
I don't even
He
like the
wants to
Grateful
know if
Dead.
he would like this. I'm like, yo, tell Jerry thank you and do what he wants. Do what you want with that design, dude.
But would you not watch a basketball game if it was all skeletons?
Are you kidding me? Of
Fuck
course.
yeah.
There you go.
I would watch the game if it was all
That one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
I'd watch the.
Hard.
No, the first one you showed me was the one Marty pitched,
That's it.
where he's like reverse.
Yeah. Here's the thing,
Dunking
though.
it.
Even if it wasn't
That's cool as
Even if
fuck.
it wasn't a game of all skeletons, just knowing that the jerseys were bought by Jerry Garcia, I'd watch the whole one, and every 5 minutes I go, "That's fucking tight."
Right?
Yeah, that version's way better.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the
I
one.
like the color choices in the tie dye too.
It's the same.
Fucking Rasta.
It's good.
Yeah. Ja.
Speaking of,
Yo, I got some too.
well, I got a lot, so
I came prepared with something else, not that.
okay, we got plenty to do.
I have a news segment.
Oh shit!
We got all kinds of stuff to do today. Welcome to the Irrelevant and Illiterate Podcast.
Yeah, introduce why I pull this up, dude. Okay, you done?
I just did. Here we are. Fuck you guys.
This is
Oh.
Daily Jocularity, and this is from well, the first one's not from our favorite plug.
Actually, no, I have one.
Instagrams.
I have one. I do have one.
Is it this one?
No.
no, that's cool. What's that?
Well, this is from this dude Irv that Mike and I know. He used to play bass in a band called David is Burning, along with J Money and Mitchell Fletcher. And this shirt is simply just text that says, "When God made me, He grinned and said, 'This'll be fun.'" Fucking bars. Now these are from
Tell him,
My
Gramps.
name is Irving Zisman.
Oh, wait, it's Irv, not
Irv Johnson.
Not
yeah.
Rostergram.
Now let's get into what Rostergrams has been up to lately. This one here is just like a girl in the bed and a guy off to the corner of the bed looking a little disappointed.
Oh.
And it says dating in 2020.
chomp.
It says dating in 2024. And the girl's has the little word bubble above her says, "Babe, a small penis isn't such a big deal." And the guy's saying, "I don't know, Jenny. I kind of wish you didn't have one at all." See, because trans in 2024.
Yeah, topical.
Very. This one's just simply text. It just says, "Oh, how I wish they made shut the fuck up spray." And I was
He ain't wrong.
like, girl, say less.
He ain't telling.
Spray him like a bad cat.
He ain't telling a lie.
Get off the coffee table.
Attention! I am out of order until further notice. My stupid people filter needs cleaning, and my give a damn batteries have run out.
Oh man.
What?
I can really relate to
God
that.
damn.
Oh God! Now here's one. It's a little, down the wormhole. My favorite way to online shop is just to yell out what I'm looking for and wait for Facebook to post an ad for it.
I think
That's happened to me plenty of times.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So
I think
yeah.
I heard that one before from him.
Real fucking talk, Gramps.
Well, this generation does not like working in capital letters. You could just give them a job sleeping and they'll wake up and quit. What's that? Now,
Oh God, dude.
now this is
No WhatsApps anymore.
All right, you want to know the Mexican word of the day from Donald Trump there in his little sombrero? Mexican word of the day, climate. I'm going to build a wall so high illegals can't climb it. But like, it's not climb it, it's climate. Like, oh yeah. It's just like, because like you think it's gonna be one word, but it's not. Oh, but all right, this is the last one he gave us, and this really shows why he's the Rasta and Gramps. It's got the Jamaica colors, similar to what we just looked at.
Like
Yeah.
Lithuania.
Booyaka, booyaka. Dear Ja, fix me when I'm the problem and protect me when I'm not.
Oh, that's just real.
Yeah, right?
Damn.
Words to live by, son.
I had
Gold bars. All right, I have one.
That's all I got.
Yeah, one of the fat secretaries at my job
Nice.
posted
Fuck
this.
That's why I missed that.
Another topical.
Oh.
Well, it's seasonal. Not topical, but seasonal. And the picture's just pictures of different types of potatoes.
Oh, I love potatoes.
So yeah, you're drawn in immediately.
I know.
I am.
Instead of March Madness this year, I'll be doing a little something called Starch Sadness, where which is where I just eat potatoes until I feel better.
Sign me up for hash browns.
Girl,
Sinful.
I'm telling you right now, it's never enough potatoes.
I never met a potato I
But
didn't like.
I will keep trying, girl.
I I got some Rastas too. We had two overlaps.
I like your
on our
collage.
collection.
Yeah.
So I would print on one piece of paper.
Fucking school project
I'm
over
not
here.
wasteful.
He ran out of his fucking cyan to do this.
I am almost out of.
I see the Mexican word of the day.
Mm-hmm. This one is a.
You're not siphoning printer ink from your office job anymore.
No.
That's where all this Patreon money is going towards, cyan and magenta.
And
Dude,
yellow.
those cartridges
and
are like
yellow.
$40.
And yellow. Yellow's the motherfucker.
It's like, did you guys spend all that going to comedy shows? No, actually,
It's printer ink is
Epson.
quite expensive.
Epson got
Dude,
all that
HP
money.
cartridges are fucking worse than eggs.
Don't tell me about it. I have a Canon. It sucks dick. I hate it.
You ain't got to tell him, girl.
This is a side profile of Morgan Freeman. I shouldn't have to explain. We know what he looks like.
Had to poop
His butt was all stinky.
because he had to poop so badly.
Well, it's a side profile of Morgan Freeman. A quarter profile even.
Yeah.
It says
That's okay, said Rebecca. I like poop. She was sunbathing and she was fat.
and also naked. And when the poop went on her boobs, it looked like a butt. As the poop came out of his wiener in long, thin strips, it was
Wiener poop.
that's the worst kind of poop there is.
I'm done.
Oh shit! Okay, I'm sorry, Thomas. I'm sorry.
you wonder why I stare at you blankly and shut my mouth all the time. Truly, you wonder.
Oh god.
Oh god!
Now you got to fight off two of us.
Oh fuck!
It's true.
Go.
It's the real Morgan Freeman. It's not that one.
Oh.
Not the Key and Peele version.
Gay.
Boo.
Well, this is from Rostagrams too. It says just because
I'm back.
I disagree with you does not mean that I hate you. We need to relearn that in our society.
True.
Bars.
That's fucking fire, dude.
Here's another one of just plain text of one of his
Fine, it works.
tried and true formats.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite. Oh, that's the same one we just talked about. Favorite way to online shop. Well, this one is Forrest Gump. The shot of him when he was done running and his hair was all long, his beard and shit, and he had the Bubba Gump hat on. It says, and just like that, the Democrats don't like investigations anymore.
I mean, he ain't wrong. I want to drive.
Open your third eye.
I want to drive up Rostagrams' follower count on Instagram to an absurd level.
If you follow this podcast, you better follow him.
All right.
And don't say a word to him either.
Yeah.
Here's my 2025 incentive.
Okay.
Especially now that I'm a permanent fixture.
Yeah.
Semi-permanent fixture on this show.
Permanent.
If you give Rostagrams a follow and send a screenshot to the Ear and Ill Instagram page or any social media that Tom is in charge of, I trust him to keep
Just
me in
that
the
one.
loop. As well as your address, I will send you your wrap snacks.
Oh,
Thinking about making us a Facebook.
why?
Why not?
I
Don't bother.
got no.
Don't bother.
I've got nothing to say against that. He's kind of just pulled me with the. All right. Game's in your favor.
Thinking about it because if nothing else, it's a place to put reels.
Or we can just obnoxiously poke people.
That too.
Poke feature's not there anymore,
Oh,
man.
what?
That was the last straw.
No.
I changed my mind.
No, we're not doing that.
I'm making us a Zanga,
Make us a truth social.
Make us a profile on Black Planet.
Rumble.
Christian Mingle.
What the hell is it? There's another one. There's more.
What did we get in the mail?
Oh, the box right there
Yeah.
that
Should
I can't reach. That you
Should
could.
I
Closer to you.
Should we do an unboxing?
I think we should.
Wait, you didn't even open it yet? You don't even know what's in it?
I opened it, but I don't know what it is.
Oh.
I couldn't tell. We received a package from one Stephen Greathouse.
He told me there's something in here for each of us. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna see if I can guess what it is.
Gun and 3 bullets.
That's what I told him. I was like, one of them better be a fucking revolver. What is this?
Well, maybe we should read the note first.
Oh Christ! It's like a.
Oh, he wrote a fucking
kidding?
term paper like his
Should
fucking
I?
snack review.
It's only 2 pages. On his classic Weiss Markets pink UPS mailroom paper too.
Yeah, those are like the reams you don't get in trouble for stealing from the fucking
Exactly.
copy room.
He ain't no dummy.
If you steal like the white WB Mason ream, like you're in deep shit.
Who but you need a job. Hey guys, what do you call a sleeping bull? Any guesses?
I don't know.
A bulldozer. But Orange, you glad I didn't say banana?
It's a good one.
But seriously, why did the bicycle fall over? It was too tired. I had originally planned to send this as a Christmas gift, as I seem to be the only guest to come through empty-handed. Not true.
Fuck it.
Though I did share my Nerds gummy clusters and must count for something, even if it was just to irritate Larry. Fuck yeah.
What is that? I can't see it.
It's the big penis book.
Oh, fuck yeah.
No, just spoil it. That's fine.
Oh, sorry.
I've
Dude,
enclosed.
look at that bulge.
Whoa!
I've enclosed a gift for each of you, but at the time of this letter,
This is obviously for Tom.
man, you really aren't good at this.
Look at that thing. It's too tempting to.
Damn.
Oh, fuck. Go on.
I've enclosed a gift for each of you, but at the time of this letter, you were making it obvious that Mike Murrow would be joining on a more permanent basis. So I threw in a record for him that was in a stack I intended to hand off to Mark Green. It's a Jerome Metal record from the Southern Lord catalog that made me feel sick to the stomach. With a little luck, this record won't have the same effect on him, or if that's what he's into, maybe it will.
That too, but let me see the record.
I think it's a 10-inch of some kind.
Yeah, it's
that book full
it's a
of 10
beautiful
inches.
looking record, but I can't tell you what it is. I think it's Worm.
It is Worm.
Ooh.
I don't know anything about them.
Dennis, I wanted to give you something that would keep you entertained for more than a few minutes. Back in the fall of 2016, I was helping a former professor eBay some of his late husband's belongings, and while going through boxes, I came across this book. I must admit, at the time, I thought it was gay, even for a gay guy. Surprisingly, the book was one of the first items sold, but was unfortunately returned as the buyer claimed it claimed it to not be what they expected. So to my surprise, on Christmas morning 2016, I found the Big Penis book waiting under my tree.
Dude, this guy looks like 80s Eddie Murphy.
Right?
Which guy?
That guy.
Oh,
You put like the red leather on him?
Right?
He does look like just like him. This book has spent the last 9 years on my coffee table in 2 different homes, and now feels as good as time as any to re-gift it to someone who will truly appreciate it.
Oh,
Tom,
it is for.
I've heard you mention on the pod a few times that reading isn't really your bag, and I think that you may have found, or I may have found a way to circumvent that. As I see it, you haven't found a literary genre or a subject that really grabs your attention. It's lack of interest. In my personal experience, some of the most rewarding books are books that teach me. Whether it's historical, nonfiction, or a reference book, I just love the feeling of coming out of a read better than I was previously. And that really got me thinking. Over the last few years, you've spent quite a bit of time with Dennis, in a way, almost making you one of his caretakers. It seems a little unfair for that responsibility to be thrust upon you with no prior experience in the field of mental disabilities. I hope this book can help you better understand and care for your Dennis for years to come. What's that book? Modification of Behavior of the Mentally Retarded, Applied Principles.
Fuck yeah.
That's awesome. Do you guys remember that episode of Saturday Night Live?
Love a man in uniform.
In 1997.
Semper Fi.
It gets demonetized.
In 1997, that was hosted by Sylvester Stallone.
There you go.
Put that over my arm over.
Jamiroquai was the musical guest.
I do.
That one was virtual insanity, if I must say so.
Yes.
The 2 sketches that stick out the most for me, though, are the ones where Sly works at a computer store that used to be in Orange Julius, and the one with Norm Macdonald in the car accident.
Yes.
On his way to return to the Rambo porn parody. What a classic. I don't know how to end it, so here's a list of new metal bands that my freshman roommate liked. Give them a listen as homework, and then maybe you'll hate them as much as I did in 2006.
Was it probably just Rich Strome's fucking record collection?
It's a bunch of bands, and he included some Simpsons imagery, too.
I'm interested.
There's a picture of Ned Flanders looking in the window. There's a picture of Homer pulling his pants maybe up.
Oh, that's the episode where he was losing weight.
Ah. And then there's a picture of RoboCop looking through a hole that says, "Hello, sir. You seem to have an unsucked Johnson." And then there's a picture of Mr. T in front of
Finally, a cop providing a real
a
service.
photo shoot. Hey, everyone's got to wear clothes, and if you don't, you can get arrested.
Holy shit, dude.
So here are the band names: 40 Below Summer, The Deadlights, American Head Charge, Flaw, Revile, I've heard of them, The Union Underground, Spineshank, Factory 81, and Full Devil Jacket are all random bands. I remember him having shirts of or talking about a whole bunch. Dog Fashion Disco. I just remembered this. I remember this band on name alone, but they also had a song about a pedophile clown, maybe John Wayne Gacy. Dry Kill Logic. This band is still active and is playing a fest with Acid Bath and Power Trip in October. Pitch Shifter is a band that I believe my older brother saw in the 90s with 9 Inch Nails, but don't quote me on that one.
He's right.
Primer 55. I'm 100% certain he only dug this band because they had a song called Big Fuck You. Taproot. I had to hear about this band's beef for Limp Bizkit weekly. Lastly is a group called Slaves on Dope, who I have little knowledge of already. In the early 2000s, when the band Glassjaw was popping off, an employee at Gallery Sound in Wilkes-Barre told me this band was similar. The CD was $3 and not worth rolling the dice on. Sincerely, Steven.
He also got me a knife kit.
FH Greathouse. Yeah, I wonder why he did that.
Because I've said before on this podcast before, after I had stopped cutting meat at supermarkets, I was still working for a buddy of mine.
Oh, right.
Cutting up deer in the deer season. And that buddy of mine who loved cocaine quite a bit ended up getting arrested. You know, the place got raided and all that shit. And there was tons of drugs on the property and it got shut down or whatever. I haven't seen my knife kit since. So I haven't had good knives in years. So he just gave me a fucking set of Victoria Knoxes. I don't know where the fuck he got that. But this shit ain't cheap.
Probably from the Victoria Knox store.
It's true. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. I gotta suck this guy's cock. Jesus.
Hopefully he's not packing a fucking
a
hammer like
whomper like
guys
one
in
of
that
those.
book.
You know what I was thinking of? I don't know. You
Now
probably...
I want to look through it.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I don't want to knock over any of your...
Damn, not the herbs and spices.
Now it's volatile.
Is there an evil curse that I just released?
That's like knocking over what you call
You can see,
Grandma's ashes?
You can see,
like
look,
the fuck thing is going to explode.
You can see the dick popping from underneath.
It reminded me of do you remember
Get me all wound
Madonna's
up.
sex book?
Yeah.
And that thing came out, it was like $200, and this was like 1990 money. So that's like what, 2000 now? Yeah.
Yeah, well, because it sold out in like 4 seconds, so the value went up even more.
To bring it back, I knew about it because Norm Macdonald constantly talked about it on Weekend Update.
Taking just the right picture of your hard dick, not holding it, is probably so difficult.
You also got to think about this, like it's not like a quick photo. Those aren't quick photo shoots, right? Because you got to have style up, post up, or have the best pose so your muscles show right. That whole time you got to
be fully torqued.
You got to maintain an arcing fucking erection. So
well, not everybody's full-fledged.
But could you imagine being the photographer chick, right? She's got it all figured out.
Christ almighty.
And she's got her photo set. She's like, that's exactly how I want him. The lights on him is perfect. Derek.
This guy's just playing with himself behind the wheel.
It's just
that's dangerous.
Get your head in the game.
You got the lights right, the makeup's great, the pillows are the right person, and they're like, Derek, come on, you're wilting, dude. Bring it up. Does she have the pop a tit out to kind of get him going, or?
These are all flamers, man.
I don't know, man.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I don't, actually. You're right. This is a really old book. This is so funny.
Yeah, and gay people didn't exist till 2010. That's why everybody's so mad about it.
Yeah, just ask South Park.
I'm not getting into a South Park wormhole again. Douglas had to poop.
Yeah, we came out too high.
The best episode. Oh, fuck. Look how distracted he is, dude.
I told you I wanted to look through it. I'm going to look through the entire book. If I look through the entire book,
I'd say that'd be a good toilet read, but it's so fucking heavy
I know, it is a lot.
You don't want to get an erection on the fucking bowl.
True, right? Just smacking.
It's just inconvenient.
Just smacking porcelain. You could seriously kill somebody with that book in 2 ways. Yeah. Give it to an old lady, give her a heart attack, or you just brain somebody with it.
Mm-hmm. God damn it! I'm trying to
I would like to look to see like who like published it and have you like
looking for.
Yeah, have it be like a company you've heard of who's like done like books that like legit books.
Oh, Random House.
Yeah, I was gonna say Random House.
Or Penguin or one of those people.
The two
Simon and Schuster.
The two that I know. There's really not much information.
I like that guy because he's in the Navy. He's a troop, so that and his bird's pretty sweet too.
I really don't like those fucking plastic covers.
I think it's a library covering. Though, why would that be in a library?
Why not? Oh, it's a fucking. It's a.
Is it a pop-up book?
It's a.
Oh!
It's a reveal.
I figured it was just like a dust jacket on, so if you're beating off to it in the bookstore, they could just kind of wipe that down with a nice moist
squeegee
rag and not fuck the cover up.
That's good.
Do you have any news, Tom?
I do.
Uh-oh. Bang it, dog.
All right. Safari can't open the page because your iPhone is not connected to the internet. Fuck me. You go first, Tom, and I'll figure this out.
Is it in the group thing?
Yeah, but the article... Motherfucker.
It's
all right.
online.
That's on hold.
But if it's in our group text, Tom can pull it up on his phone. He has internet access.
It's not. The link isn't.
Oh.
Just the screenshot.
Oh, potatoes.
All right, you're up, Tom.
Okay. Well, a funeral home in Poland has apologized after a corpse fell out of a hearse in traffic.
That couldn't happen in a better place.
That'll happen.
A funeral home in Poland is issuing an unusual apology on Saturday after a corpse that it was transporting fell out of a hearse and into traffic. Polish media reported that a man was driving down a street on Friday in Stalowa Wola,
Fuck yeah.
Sure.
a city in southeastern Poland, when he first saw a sheet on his car window. When the sheet slid down, he saw a body lying on the road.
It was like, what's up and
For
stuff?
for a moment, the driver feared that he had hit the person. Local media published an image of the corpse laying on a white striped pedestrian crossing where it tumbled out of the hearse. The company transporting the corpse, Hades Funeral Services,
Yikes.
issued a statement Saturday, taking responsibility for the incident and blaming a technical failure of the hearse.
Was it not in a coffin?
Was it naked?
It was just a loose body just chilling in the trunk?
Polish funeral home.
Oh, so it was on a screen-doored submarine.
Right. It is with deep regret that we inform you that as a result of an unexpected technical failure of the electric tailgate lock in the hearse, during the transport of the body of the deceased, an unfortunate event occurred which does not reflect the high standards of our company, our deep empathy toward the families of the deceased, and the respect we always show to the deceased, the company wrote in a run-on sentence posted on its website. I added that part. It apologized to all those who were disappointed and upset by this event.
What about the poor dead fella?
Even like Eastern Bloc Europe, like the poorest areas have the plain pine box.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you just raw dogging a dead body in your fucking back of your hearse.
Just throw him in back.
Just put him on top of newspapers. Yeah.
Three years.
I think like even over there, like it might not be the most ornate wood coffin ever, but I'm pretty sure they're all still in like a suit. It's still
Probably.
lined with something, you know. I think that's one thing where they're like even like the third world doesn't fuck around. It was like with the
Death.
deceased. Except for like
Yeah.
probably like Russia itself, where it's probably like I just throw him out the back, feed him to Yuri.
Does what hurt? That was a Japanese guy.
Hades fucking funeral home. though?
Hades. Hades.
Oh God.
Little on the nose now.
That's for the bad kids in the neighborhood. You're gonna go to Hades,
Keep it up. We're gonna send you.
and like across the street is like Pearly Gates funeral home and
I
shit.
know.
Oh, is that like your Yale
Yeah.
school?
Yeah.
In South Jersey, it was Yale.
Yeah.
That was like the bad kid school.
Oh.
They always give them like these like this is honestly statewide. They give those they'll give like bad kid schools the names of like real institutions. So that's so like if
Well, Yale was an acronym for something. It wasn't named after Yale, like the university.
like they won't say like this. It won't outright say this is a bad kid school because that's just so like if you're like your parents like, oh, where does your kid go to high school? You don't have to say, well, he goes to Delinquent U. He's like he goes to Harvard, but with 2 R's. You know, the extra R's for retard. You know, it's just like, yeah, they always did that. Like the one behind it was actually behind my middle school was the Intensive Learning Center or something like that, or it was the Positive Learning Center, PLC. And it was so bad there that they had to let us go from school 20 minutes early.
Oh, because what, they would wait outside and try to start shit with you?
Because normally you would get out at the same time.
I feel like 20 minutes is not enough time.
But especially for us fat kids. But they would seriously get out of school, and it was seriously not like 20 feet. You just had to cross a parking lot, and you were there. And they would just wait outside. And as soon as, like, if you were walking home, or if you were walking down the street to get candy from the store, it was curtains. So they actually had to...
Curtains.
And the only person there was like an 80-year-old crossing guard. He can't stop shit. So they actually had to start letting us out 20 minutes early to avoid the PLC
crossover.
Kids.
That's so good. Damn. They should have made you fucking survive.
But every time they've renamed it like 2 or 3 times, and every time it's always like it sounds like an institute. It's not like, you know,
like the fucking Great Woods Institute.
Yeah.
Fucking
instead of like calling it like basically jail. You know? Yeah, prison light. Yeah.
Basically jail.
Yeah. Like where you would see a kid who looks perfectly normal, then all of a sudden you see his like eye twitch, he's got a lighter in his hand and a gun in the other. You're like, here we go.
What was Ferris's first name? The like William Ferris, the Thomas Ferris Center for something. Ferris. It had some fucking long name.
It was like the so-and-so Ferris School for ...
Locals like us only knew it as Ferris.
Now it's DYSCF.
Delaware something youth something.
Delaware Youth Services and Child Facility.
There you go.
Good job. I used to scrum their floors overnights. Baby boy.
We have a lot of programs like that in district now. Like it takes a lot for a kid to get shipped out. Yeah. Usually it has to be the parent suggesting that like a different placement is necessary. So
like I can't handle.
Yeah, like so basically only the parents who care about their fucked up kids are the ones who get placed in like an actual appropriate setting. Like nowadays, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have cooperative parents because usually kids that fucked up come from like
up parents.
Yeah, like a neglectful household. So they're just like, yeah, we're not footing the bill to send our kid to some fucking private school when, you know, we can get his education for free here. Like we pay taxes. Blah, blah. So we have 2 in-house programs at the 2 other middle schools, not the one I'm at. There's like a BD program for kids who like get 10 or more infractions for strictly like discipline issues, like not like tardiness or like other things that you get written up for.
Fighting and fire.
Yeah, basically like, oh, you punched somebody, or oh, like you broke like property, or you vandalized something, like
tried to choke a teacher.
Yeah, like serious infractions. Once you hit 10, you get sent to that program, and then if you fuck up there, you get sent to the other program at the other school. That's like you're one of the trailer kids, like in the trailer behind the building. And if you fuck up so bad there that like nobody can handle you, that's like the one and only time like our district at least will have like a board hearing where it's like, yeah, we got to send you out of district, and like we got to take that hit financially now because like we have nothing here. We're not equipped. We can't handle you.
I remember,
and that nowadays that rarely happens.
Like the Hannibal Lecter of children.
Yeah. Pretty much. And like there's been a few of them that have come through. Like there have been kids that are so like out of control where like we've had to throw our hands up and just be like, we're not equipped to deal with this one kid because we're so short staffed as it is, at least as far as like support staff people and like aides who are trained to do like the textbook restraints so we don't get fucking sued for like hurting a kid.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
Well, take a look at what they fucking offer pay wise to aides and paraprofessionals who like are supposed to be the ones who like need to like yoke these kids up when they get
36 grand.
You're just going to get the people that graduated.
It's hourly. It's not even a salary position, and it's not. And they hire you at like just under the hourly amount per week, where you can't get benefits from the district.
And all you're going to get.
So some kid, or not kid, but like some college grad can be like, yo, I can go work at fucking McDonald's and make more.
Yeah.
I can make an hourly rate more respectable than what you're offering me to get my ass beat by some fucking teenagers.
You see this? Those kids like who are in the program, they get out of the program and they're out of school forever, right? They're just on to their adult life.
If you're classified special ed, you're allowed to be in the district till you're 21.
So they
not
could
18.
Honestly probably just go back to the school and say, hey, I want to be one of your retard handlers. Give me the job. And then they end up becoming policing their own. So
that's a little too.
They're not that ambitious. That's the thing. Like, you have actual like educated people who like went to school for special ed, and they're trained to do everything the right way, at least by the book.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we'll pay you $15 an hour to sit in on like this multiple disabilities class where like kids are literally going to try to fucking charge you, and like you got to take them down.
Meanwhile, there's kids
because like the 90 pound like 25-year-old female teacher isn't going to be able to restrain some kid who's like pushing 300 pounds.
Yeah. Who's jacked out of their mind on testosterone
and is like is built
who's
like
a fucking man.
Yeah, like this 15-year-old kid, he's built like a tailback, and like he's gonna fucking just like headbutt the shit out of you if you don't fucking stop him and take him down.
I remember our guy at McCain High School was a guy named Floyd Deere. Floyd Deere was probably about 89 years old. So a stiff breeze would have killed this man. And all I pretty much did was walk into the bathroom and start smoking. Not stop you from smoking. He would start smoking.
Right.
To the teachers
He bums cigarettes off the kids.
The teachers will walk in and be like, Floyd, you can't smoke in here. He's like, all right. And just toss it in the toilet. He was the man. But do you, like, I don't know. This happened to me when last time I remember it happened was elementary school. The boiler room kids.
We didn't have a boiler room.
No?
We didn't. If we did, we didn't have access to it.
So we have, I mean, when I was a student, we had self-contained classrooms, but the kids like back then were way higher. Like they were pretty self-sustainable kids with disability. Like they were just fucked up enough where like they needed to be in a self-contained environment, and like they would cycle out for like gym and lunch and like maybe like an elective if like they were high enough like academically. But the bar is so low now, and like this is just like me, an insider, like telling you, like kids like that are they're all gen ed now. Like they all get mainstreamed because they just want to push kids like that through the system.
Yeah.
That's why you're hearing about kids graduating high school and like they can't fucking read.
Yeah.
Because even classified kids, like, yeah, you're classified, but that just means like you have an IEP that says like you can't get written up for doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like no one's going to follow through on any disciplinary actions taken on you for wigging out and like reverting back to your like special ed self.
Yeah.
But like the self-contained kids now are so low that they're basically like not functional. Like they're so low that like they need at least 2 aides and a teacher working with just them because they're so fucking low. Like it sounds cruel to say, but it's like kids who don't belong in that type of setting because it's just too over their heads.
Well, the only time you ever really ran across those kids when I was in school, it was a big school too, is that a couple of your classes would share the bathroom with that class. And occasionally you'd walk into the boys' room and there'd be someone there with his pants around his ankles taking a piss with his butt out. You're like, oh, okay. You didn't like freak out. You're just like, oh, he's just one of the kids from over in that class. But I actually had friends who were in those classes. And the thing is, they had behavioral problems, but they would put kids with behavioral problems. Just like they like to fight. They talk too fucking much. But they would put them in a classroom with kids that had Down syndrome.
Yeah.
So
it's more like, and appropriately split up now.
And the crazy thing is like the teachers that would do that class, like depending on what the subject was, it was just one of your teachers. Like, oh, like say it's your math teacher. Oh, they've also got to go down and do that class at like so and so time of day. So it's like it's not like they're specific. Like they might be able to specifically handle, say, kids with Down syndrome, but they can't handle kids that are violent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more appropriately divvied up nowadays. Like you have a BD program, which is like the behavior kids.
Yeah.
Like kids that like to fight, kids that elope, kids that just do destruction. Like those are kids that are housed in one program. And then you have like your multiple disabilities kids, like your kids with Down syndrome, your kids with autism, but these are kids who can still function. They can still cycle out to certain things. Like they can go to gym and like run around and like get the gist of it and have fun. They can go to like a class like mine and like be successful, but their academics and like their life skills classes, they have to stay in the self-contained part and like learn all that from like the same teacher because they're just not at that level.
It's just wild. Like
so you're not seeing like good-hearted kids who are disabled like housed in the same room as like a kid who just wants to fuck everybody up.
Yeah.
Like that those days are over. Like that, at least that is like one of the positives of it is like it's more split up like appropriately.
Because even back then we thought it was fucked up because you also shared the recess yard. And like a lot of your friends that were just bad kids, they're just bad.
Just a rotten.
But there's nothing wrong with their brains at all. They're just mean little shits. But you're like, all right.
God bless lunch detentions, man.
Like, how do you expect them to, say, hey, maybe I should just get it together? Or like, nah, you're in this class with kids who actually can't do. And it's also disheartening to like, say you're sending your kid who has Down syndrome to this school, to, so he can actually go to school and learn shit. And now your kid who's just a friendly little guy has to worry about getting his ass beat by some psychopath. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, that doesn't happen anymore.
This is all.
I mean, it might happen in districts that can't afford to house them in separate programs, but I'm happy to say that we don't see any of that where I'm at.
I haven't seen it since elementary.
I mean, I think it's illegal pretty much across the board. So I don't think even if you're like you're scraping by financially, you're allowed to do it.
Yeah, it's just for even the teachers. It's like, dude, like it's two different skill sets. Mm-hmm. Like this kid might eat a crown. This kid might use the crown to kill someone. It's like, Jesus Christ. But it was pretty funny. Like, like walk into the bathroom, there's just like some dude's butt cheeks hanging out. You're like, fucking hilarious.
Well, yeah, the two self-contained classes in the building I work in now is like just the regular like multiple disabilities crew, and then there's the autism class. Their bathroom is in the same hallway as like the gym, the cafeteria, the theater. So it's like all these like common meeting areas where there's lots of gen ed kids. Sometimes they need to use the bathroom. Like, so they go into the bathroom and like our kids are pretty good. Like they understand like, oh, I walked into the bathroom and like there was one of the special ed kids in there. Like, and normally it's like, if it's a special ed kid who's like allowed to like get up and go to the bathroom on their own, it's not a kid you got to worry about being in the bathroom, like getting into some shit.
High functioning enough.
Yeah. So, and the kids who can't handle that will always have at least 1 to 2 aides with them, like making sure like nothing or no one interferes with like their bathroom break.
Probably get a sicker bathroom too that way.
Like
no, they use the same
even with the aid
kids, but yeah.
Oh, well.
Honestly, I remember all of us, even as elementary school kids, when you're immature as fuck. Everybody was super, super, like, looked out for the like, legit Down syndrome kids.
Well, I told you this. I might have told this story on the pod already. Maybe I didn't. The last day of school last year, so the end of 2024, it's like almost the end of the day. It's like the last day. Everyone's packed up. Everyone's ready to go. Like, the kids are over it. We're over it. And I was just like, we were all going to, like, a teacher happy hour, and I was like, yo, I'm going to run into the bathroom closest to me and like rip a piss in the urinal real quick because I'm not gonna go all the way down to the faculty bathroom because that's my pooping bathroom.
Yeah, special one.
Like I'll just go to the kids' bathroom where no one's in right now and just like take a quick piss before I pack up my room and
show these kids
what's up. Well, no, I knew I like peeked in and like no one was in there. So like, all right, I'm gonna just pop in here real quick.
Like a giant overtop the tiny toilet.
And so I go in there, think I'm gonna be in and out, and there's a fucking like 12-inch fucking fudge dragon just chilling in the fucking urinal.
Big old beady fudge
So I'm
dragon.
like, all right, these fuckers on the last day of school like decided to fucking pull out their A game prank and take a shit in one of the urinals.
just crushing red meat the night before.
So
like, why are you eating so much? Like, I got a big thing to do tomorrow at school.
I know.
Need a lot of energy.
I know that if someone else finds this and they report it and they look at the cameras, they're going to see me going in there and coming right out and not reporting
that's
it.
not fair.
No.
So I'm just like, damn.
You
and
stepped in a blood puddle at the murder scene.
Yeah. So I see my principal in the hallway, like further down like the way, and I'm just like, yo, man, like not trying to like rain on your parade, like with like 5 minutes of the school year left, but like someone just shit in the urinal over here. And he just like didn't even break his facial expression, was just like, that's fucking diabolical. And I'm like, look, I know there's cameras. Like, you might want to check the cameras and see who it was. Like, I'm just the messenger here. Like, I'm just telling you what I saw, but it's pretty bad. So he goes and checks the cameras. He comes back into my room like 5 minutes later, like cracking up. He's like, dude, it was one of the MD kids. Like, it was like they're trying to wean him off of like going to the bathroom with an aide.
That's even cooler.
So he went in there and just assumed the urinals were for both functions and was just like, this is the closest thing to me, so I'm going to use this. And he sat in the urinal and took a shit.
Or against it.
Oh, God damn it, dude.
So
that's great.
Victimless crime.
Yeah.
Unless you want to include me as the victim because I had to walk into it.
I'd include the janitor who's got to go snake that fucker.
No, he just had to put on a fucking rubber glove and fish it out.
Still.
He was Bill Murray in Caddyshack, just fucking
cornback rat.
Yeah, pulling. But yeah, he was.
That rules.
Oh,
went out with a bang last year with that one.
A nice protein cable.
It was impressive.
A nice nomenclature.
I was like, a 12-year-old kid made that. Like, that's impressive.
That's fucking crazy.
Like, yeah, that shit was a fucking.
Seriously, you notice he's been crushing crushing beef, holding it in, not drinking enough water, just so he knows it's going to come out like a fucking the fist of God.
The best shits I ever took in my life were from adolescent to 17. So,
oh God,
makes sense.
You know, that thing came out. He was just probably like wanted to just lean over and take a nap.
Yeah. No,
what it feel like
the best part is like just the sheer innocence of it all. Like he had no idea he was doing something wrong.
No,
he was just like, oh, like I finally have a little bit of independence. Like I'm going to go to the bathroom on myself, by myself. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of my progress.
I'm my own man right now.
He did shit.
Like I'm moving up in the world.
Did shit in a toilet.
That's why I actually give kids some credit. Like, cause like I said, when we were in elementary school, we would walk in and see kids with their pants around their ankles and their dick and balls and ass out.
They're giant
doing the butters.
Yeah, and we wouldn't like fuck with them. We just like, here he is. You know, you just kind of like, and that's mature as fuck for an elementary school kid. Yeah. But like, I think a lot of kids today, there's some that are, of course, outliers.
Even our generation was the first generation to kind of be taught properly. Yeah. To like accept kids like that.
Timothy don't know better.
Yeah.
You know?
Like my parents sat me down at a pretty early age and were just like, look.
If you see him wandering the traffic,
you're gonna
turn him left, let him go. You know what I mean?
You're gonna see and hear some things.
Yeah.
At your school or like out in public, like you gotta understand that like not everybody's as lucky as you. So
when I was in high school, we had this one Down syndrome kid. He actually rode the bus in with me. And nobody, the entire time I was there, he actually graduated before me. but nobody fucked with this kid. Like he would walk down the hall, everybody's like, Chris, what's up? And it's Chris DeCorso, great guy. Everybody's just like fucking stoked to see him. Halloween, dresses up as Phantom of the Opera, half mask and everything. Was going down the hallway, going to people, pimp. like kind of like not looking at him in the eye, then would just turn and go, like that. And everybody's like, oh shit, Chris, what the fuck? And he's like, not Chris. You're like, yeah, okay, Phantom. He was the fucking man. Nobody.
Dun 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 dun.
Nobody fucked with this kid.
Dun,
but
dun, dun,
I can confirm that this is all very true because
I've told the story a million times.
No. Since like around like 10 years or so ago, when kids were allowed to dress up for Halloween at school again.
Yeah.
Because for a few years they took it away because kids were going way too fucking hard in the paint with their costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to tell you. I don't have to go into detail, but they brought it back, and no one celebrates Halloween harder than the disabled kids.
Fuck no.
They come in like fully fucking decked out in like professional grade costumes.
What I was gonna say though is this kid Chris. Everybody loved Chris, right? Chris was a fucking superstar. But we also had this girl. She wasn't developmentally challenged in the brain. She was just. It wasn't dwarfism. It was something like different. But she was very, very small.
Progeria?
No, but kind of similar. But she didn't have the old people face. But she had to go around in this little scooters. This girl Meredith Siegel, right?
We have a kid like that now. He's wheelchair bound, but he's Gen Ed. Like he's normal.
He had a little
like. No, I don't want to use the term normal. Like, but he's Gen Ed. Yeah. Like he can keep up.
Standard issue.
Educationally, like he can sit in any class and like do fine. Yeah. He's just got the medical issue where like he's like a little guy.
He's on a cart. Well, Meredith was the same way. She was in normal classes with everybody. Chris had his own teacher to himself and no one else. It was sick for him. But Meredith was just always on
those days are over.
Tiny like motorized scooter, and people called her Super Mary Cart.
Fuck yes,
right. But the thing is like she was such an asshole. She would ride up your fucking heels and like, let's go, I gotta get to class and all this shit. And she did have that Lollipop Guild voice. But no one fucked with Chris. But since Meredith was such an asshole, this one kid's name was Pat Noon. Guy was a fucking asshole. She was just fucking around, yelling at them and shit like that, spitting at him and shit. She was mean.
Damn.
He picks her up and puts her on top of the water fountain and then goes to class. So she's sitting on top of the water fountain for, I don't know, 20 minutes till somebody going down the hallway is like,
perched up like a gargoyle.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Like, so if you find yourself in that situation, you're one of those people, just be nice and no one's going to fuck with you. But yeah, we loved Chris. He rode the bus with me home. And he would fall asleep. He was always at the very first seat because he never got off at the right spot. So the bus driver had to tell him which one to get off at. He would fall asleep every ride home. And the thing is, he would fall asleep, and since the bus is moving back and forth and there's no seatbelts, he was constantly just clunk, clunk, clunk.
When I was a kid,
it was nuts.
When I was a kid, when we first moved to Jersey, it was still AM and PM kindergarten.
Where were you before Jersey?
Philly.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Moved to South Jersey when I started kindergarten, and it was still a session in the AM and a session in the PM. We did not have full day kindergarten. I don't know if you guys had a similar setup.
Nope. Well, no.
So I was AM.
Only in the morning.
And the thing is,
yeah, like that. But I didn't have to go twice.
No. Neither did I. You either went in the AM or you went in the PM.
I was morning. And then when the school got too crowded, they moved half of us over to another kindergarten and gave us PM.
Okay. Yeah. This was way before full day kindergarten existed in any sense of the word.
Yeah.
So I was the AM shift. All the other kids in my neighborhood were PM. So
nuts.
And like, I guess everybody else on the bus route to my elementary school was PM. Like I was one of the few AM kids on that bus route in the morning.
Out in the dark by yourself?
So, no. So they felt no need to use a full-size bus.
Oh.
So guess what picked me up in the morning? The short bus. So it was me and like two other kids. We were all Gen Ed kids. No special ed kids were on the short bus. We just happened to be on the short bus because it was just practical.
They thought they were being economical.
Yeah. So for years, like, and it wasn't until I was in like third or fourth grade that like I started getting tight with some of the kids on my street. And they were like, yeah, like we didn't fuck with you back then. We just thought you were retarded. Like we didn't know anything about you. We just knew you rode the short bus in the morning. I'm like,
was there a point where you're like, was I retarded? am I in recovery?
No, I feel like my mom had to like explain it to me. She's like, yeah, like this is just like for practicality reasons, you don't need to be on like a huge bus if there's only a couple of you on that route in the morning. But
what if your mom's like, look, Michael, it was flu season. You got really bad sniffles. We took you down here. We got you a shot. And next thing you know, you're just biting random things in the house. We didn't know what to do. It was the fucking 1980s.
Hey,
I mean,
well, you know what though?
That's the thing. Like when you're 6 years old, you don't know the difference. You just think like, oh, like I'm on the smaller bus because I'm one of 3 people that needs to get picked up. Because like you're that undeveloped brain understands like that practicality part of it. You don't understand that the short bus is usually for the special ed kids. And like for years, kids were like, "Yeah, we thought you were like something was wrong with you because like you got picked up by the the special ed bus." I'm like, "Damn."
You know what though? Joke's on them because now you get to teach finger paints.
Well, since he is a recovering retard, he's probably super sick at finger paints.
Exactly. That's why he's fucking teaching them.
So that
Can you imagine one of his students now like, Mr. Murrow, where did you learn to be so good at finger painting?
Boy, let me tell you.
Sit down. I got a story for you. Rick Murrow used to take me out to the stop every morning. Make sure I didn't get snatched up by wolves. God damn, dude.
No, I mean, and we were the last generation of like free range kids.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to sound like one of those boomer memes that like, our parents throw out there, but like that I would come home from elementary school and my parents would just be like, "Yeah, go out and play. Like, we're not ready to deal with you."
I was
like,
latchkey. There was no choice. I was free range until someone.
When I was older, I was definitely latchkey.
Yeah.
Because that was when my mom had finally gone back to work. When I was old enough to be trusted to like let myself in the house and chill.
My mom waited,
or go out and like lock up the house properly.
My mom waited until the second I turned 12 years old to give me a key to the house. And I was a latchkey kid from then.
Yeah, that was around the same time for me. Because by the time I was in middle school, I would get home like hours before my mom did. Because she was back at work, and she's like, "You're on your own, and like grade, I don't want to come home from work and find you like couch surfing and like watching TV. Like, go out and fucking play with your friends."
I remember when I first got my house key, I kept losing it, and
asshole.
Right? Well, I was a kid, but I was like young too. I think I was still single digit. For some reason, my parents had me out in a Gumby Gold cross, like the fucking like Catholic cross and shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is back when they were delusioning themselves, thinking they're Catholics, and so I actually had this silver Jesus piece chain.
Fuck yeah.
With a fucking house key and of course the crucifix on it. And so instead of that, I just had this nice chain, right? Fine. But then I had this rusted key just next to it. And like it would leave like imprints on my chest and shit. It was fucking gross.
I was so excited to carry my house key because I got a sick wallet chain for it.
Oh, nice.
Never lost that fucker.
Imagine if you had one of those things that was like
I remember my first chain wallet.
The zip line.
I got the chain just for the key. No wallet. I didn't have a wallet.
Mine was a no fear chain wallet.
Hell yeah, it was.
I don't remember. Mine had some stupid like flame design on it though.
I think
not flame
sure
colored.
They all do.
Not flame colored. It was like a dark leather.
Yeah, that's standard issue.
But in lighter leather was like a little flame thing.
I don't think they come in flame.
And then I remember, and actually, listener of the podcast, John Katrowski, both of us were trying to find the most obnoxious type of chain we could have. And he had like this yellow safety chain. It's kind of like the square link.
Yeah.
He had one of those.
That's so funny.
I had
it
one.
It weighs like ounces.
I had one. It seriously looked like LL Cool J's necklace in wallet chain form. It was so stupid.
Like
looking.
Cuban
link chain wallet.
Yeah, it was so fucking stupid.
I would love a rope, like a rope chain.
Getting out of like the desk.
You would think the way like hip hop artists now like dip into like the fucking like hot topic of the 90s culture.
Yeah.
You would see at least one gold Cuban link chain wallet.
Yeah, but surprisingly, they were smarter.
Yeah, it's we're not pushing the envelope that far.
How many times
maybe it's not a surprise actually.
How many times you would try to get out of like the desk chair and you would just be caught?
Yep, that did happen to me.
You're like, dude, can you help me out? And your boy had to like free up the chain
because it was just a key.
That happens to me now with my lanyard for work because I always keep it tucked in my pocket and I let the strap hang out.
If the key gets wedged in between a fucking
that shit
chair,
gets caught on fucking doorknobs and fucking loose shit. Like
you walk 2 feet, then you gotta bounce back like an asshole.
Yeah, like if I'm already having a bad day and that happens, that's like I'm like suicidal. Don't ask me for shit the rest of the day because I'm fucking done.
You hear one word. Really?
Don't ask me the color of anything.
Really? Well, if it's early enough in the morning that the kids aren't in the building yet, like I'll let some fucking F words fly. Yeah. Like,
are you fucking serious?
Motherfucker!
Of course, shit like that.
Yeah, Murrow's tied up again.
Yeah, Murrow's lanyard got caught on his doorknob.
And no matter how many times that has happened to you, the minute you see one of your coworkers have the same situation, you're just like, nah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no fucking mercy.
Suck it, Dave.
What goes around comes around, bitch. Of course.
Suck it, Connie. Fuck bitch.
No, I'm very blessed with my wing in school. It's all good people. And I'm happy to report that our tech guy who used to clog the toilet doesn't clog the toilet anymore.
Fuck that guy.
No, he's cool, man. He actually lost a lot of weight and he's like super cool now.
Probably why.
Yeah, he's not leaving fucking
Well, he has diet
footballs in the
difference,
fucking toilet anymore.
Yeah.
He's look, Mike. I'm sorry about that, but I used to really, really, really like rice. You're like, dude, that's true. Rice is pretty fucking fire, dude. I get it.
I like it.
His desk is still covered in Funko Pops, though.
Oof.
Man, I love rice. It's really great.
Like-
it's really great when I'm really hungry and I want 2,000 of something.
Okay, Mitch. Like, if I had a desk covered in Funko Pops, I would just know that the minute I say something like the kids don't like, they would just come in, one arm out, and just roll them all down.
That's
like
the
dominoes.
thing. My desk is like decked out with like tons of toys and like cool shit that I've collected over the years. I'm like,
I bet it is.
I'm one like shitty, unaware of his surroundings kid away from like
Disaster.
going postal, because some kid's gonna swing his backpack to put it on and knock over my 2001 like Allen Iverson bobblehead.
Damn,
and
that's
break it.
cool.
Why would you bring that to school, dickhead?
Because it's fucking cool.
Because it's
flex.
cool. And, like,
Yeah,
I'd rather have it on display like at my job than fucking like find some random shelf in the house to put it on.
You appreciate it more.
Just have
if you-
Brittany walking by, like, huh? It's still there, Britt.
You appreciate
Cool,
it
right?
a lot more if you look at it every day.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that at work.
And like her and I have tons of cool shit like on display already.
That's
like
like
I'm not
in here.
trying to have like there you only have so much room for like trinkets at your house. So like
Says you.
listen, when we get a bigger house, like
You get a tchotchke room?
Yeah, we'll get
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, we'll get a tchotchke
Let's
room.
go.
You think he can't hang a floating bookshelf?
Listen, I watch YouTube tutorials.
Dude, tchotchkes are this shit.
It's $2.
But,
It's great.
Yeah, like I've had some close calls where like I have like some cool shit that like I can't replace at this point because it's so old.
Is it because your kids are self-aware of how they're moving, or is it because they have tremendous respect for Allen Iverson?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, I guess. I don't know.
Talking about practice?
Right. Was that
Well,
him?
that's the thing. Like middle schoolers now never witnessed even like Allen Iverson at the tail end of his career. So some kids who even like are full-fledged jocks are like, who's that?
That was like
I'm like, you motherfucker.
he
like,
was peaking when I was in like middle high school.
yeah.
Who is he peeking at?
Somebody.
Peking duck?
Yo, it sounds delicious.
Right?
It does, but that
I'm an idiot.
that did suck.
Nobody went for it anyway.
I know. I'm so
Shout out
glad.
to Joe's Peking Duck House in my neighborhood.
Oh, word?
They thought my wife and I were food critics because we ordered so much food one day.
Hell yeah.
You should have just rolled with
Should
it.
have rolled with it. Yeah. Get some
Now
promo
your,
Well,
stuff.
your stuff's always going to be crisp when you go in there.
They didn't really speak great English to begin with. So when they came, like the chef and like all the wait staff came out to like introduce themselves to us, and they were like, "Oh, like, do you like everything?" We're like, "Yeah, like everything's awesome." They're like, "Oh, hi."
Now every time you walk in, you give them one of these, like,
No, they've always hooked it up. They've always been great to us because we go in there regularly. But one day,
duck skin's always crispy.
Well, one morning, it was one Sunday we went there for Sunday dim sum, and I was so
As you
fucking
do.
I was so fucking hungover. I'm like, I'm ordering 4 bowls of congee. I'm fucking ordering all the pork buns and all the dumplings on the fucking menu, and she's like, you know what? I'm starving too, so make that 2. So they were like, oh, you food critic.
run that a second time there.
Dan, was
Chief.
it a sweatpants Sunday?
I think it was the summertime, so I was wearing shorts. But yeah, they were definitely athletic shorts. They weren't like nice shorts.
It's definitely sweatpants.
No, I'm
type food.
cotton shorts at home.
Yeah,
It's definitely a sweatpants thing, dude. Just chilling.
definitely some dry fit material that day.
That's pretty cool.
I was built
Eating
for,
till you
built for
can't move.
comfort that day, not speed.
Eating till you can't move. Oh fuck. Pork buns though. Never did anything for
I ordered the congee with the black egg. That's how hungry I was.
Oh.
No, I didn't. I'm not saying I enjoyed it. I'm just like, I want one of everything on this fucking menu.
It's funny, like
Plus, I always wanted to try one and see how gross it actually was.
it's
Never
not
had one.
good.
It's not good.
But also, I don't like eggs, so it wasn't going to hit for me anyway.
True.
But I think Asian cuisine is the only one where I can seriously go, I want the left side.
Yeah, some of the OG Chinese shit, like I can't even hang with,
Yeah.
and that's one of them.
And anything with like too much fucking like nuts in it and shit. Used to butt like Kung Pao.
I was always weird with nuts and raisins. Like I love both of those things.
But not on hot food, right?
I don't like stuff with nuts in them. I don't like stuff with raisins in them. I can eat raisins out of the box for days.
Yeah.
What about an oatmeal raisin
Nope.
cookie?
Nope.
I love oatmeal raisin cookies.
And
So good.
I've been faked out so many times thinking it's a chocolate chip cookie. When someone gets like a cookie platter for like the break room,
I love that surprise.
You gotta look at the
No.
texture of the cookie. It's always different looking than a regular chocolate chip cookie.
not always. Not the cheapo ones, like
9
the
out of
fucking
10
like
times,
BJ's and Sam's Club ones. They're not always easy to tell apart.
Dennis, he's not learned. Like
I'm telling you, dude. Well, I'm a cookie enthusiast, as you can tell.
So am I.
Spot it. But I like nuts, pause, and raisins on stuff like baked goods. It's fine, and in cereals and stuff like that, it's
Yep.
fine.
Yeah, cereal.
Damn.
I've always been okay with cereal. I can eat trail mix,
But like prepared,
but I
like,
don't like a muffin with like
Really?
nuts in it. I don't like
banana
I don't
nut
like I
muffin?
don't like a cinnamon raisin bagel. Like I don't like things with those things in them.
I don't
The
want nuts
texture
in those
contrast
things.
just throw. It's not the flavor either. It's like
I
the
don't want-
texture contrast of biting into like a piece of cake or a bagel or a muffin and like getting a mouthful of raisins with it. Like
I would
always
say
fucks me up.
Raisins wouldn't bother me, but the nuts in that situation. would.
Nuts are just
Yeah.
as bad. I'm the
I
same
would-
way with olives.
I would take
Olives
a,
are just gross altogether.
I can eat olives out of the jar, but I
Yeah.
can, if you put olives on my nachos, like I'm fucking swinging on you.
True. Get them the fuck out of there.
I would take a banana nut muffin over reviving a dead pet on the right day.
Fuck, dude.
That's
intense.
Bold claim.
That's intense. But like,
They're pretty awesome.
but nuts when it comes to like hot foods, like meat and stuff like that, like even
Yeah,
like nuts with noodles. and
Yeah,
shit
like
that.
Thai-
No,
like
I don't
Thai-
that. I don't like
Like
that.
buzz off, dude.
That's the one thing that keeps me away from Thai food a little bit is like all the peanut shit.
I like the peanut butter seasoning that
I don't
comes in
like
like
it.
some
Even
Thai
that I'm
dishes,
not-
but
I'm not
but
into that
nuts
bad.
like actual like hard nuts.
Not crazy.
Not yeah, I can't do it.
I don't like the texture mixed with
I
fucking
those-
noodles and shit.
My favorite thing about Thai food is those weird sandwiches.
Banh mi's?
Yeah.
That's Vietnamese.
It's
Is it?
Vietnamese.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck me. I'm racist.
Because I'll crush
mi's
a
fucking
banh mi and some pho. That's another hangover cure for me. Is a fucking big ass bowl of
Pho
pho.
will cure anything.
Anything soup-esque is good for a hangover.
Yeah.
Fat bowl-
Or if I'm just plain like old school sick.
Big ass bowl of chili also works. Oh damn.
I just got over a little thing this past Monday with
What was his
a
name?
big ass bowl of pho. It was germs from my fucking Korean coworker.
Jeremy?
That bastard. Nah,
Damn.
Mimi, she got us all sick.
Classic Mimi, dude. She be doing that shit all the fucking time.
Them
She-
fucking
she me doing it.
spreading them lab spawn viruses.
Me. That was oof.
It went there.
Yikes.
Let's do one more story before
Okay.
we get to homework or
Yeah.
whatever.
Let me see if my story loaded.
I doubt it.
I doubt it as well.
Well,
Let's give it the old college try. Nope. All right.
actually,
As you were.
let's see. What were we? We're talking about food. We're talking about baked goods specifically. Let's talk about bread.
I do be breading.
This I love this.
Bread makes
story.
me poop. Yay!
Yay!
Oh man,
I'm going to the beach.
I forgot all about special ed.
Boy, you sound a little bread. Bread makes me poop.
It still boggles me a little. That was Jim Florentine.
Yeah.
It says it's when he peaked.
There was one of Jim Norton's books. There was a thing about he was at the airport with Jim Florentine, and just people were going through like special ed, and everybody would just be like yelling "yay" at him at the top of his lungs. He's like, just how funny it is like to be at a bunch of people are yelling in retard voice at you.
That is great.
I'm like, that's kind of sick. Actually,
that's pretty fucking funny.
Not like, oh, Allen Iverson, what's up? They're like,
Well, Schneider Electric ransomware crew has demanded a $125,000 ransom
Not euro.
be paid in baguettes.
oh fuck yeah,
Fuck yeah.
That's what I said.
I'm on board.
they know what's up.
Schneider Electrical confirmed that it is investigating a breach as a ransomware group called Hellcat claims to have stolen more than 40 gigabytes of compressed data.
Can I ask a quick question? What's ransomware?
It is a type. It's basically a virus.
Yeah.
Okay.
That you basically in this instance they'll get access to your hard drives or your company's like sensitive information, and they'll literally hold it hostage. They'll be like, we'll leak all this financial information or whatever unless you pay us X.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I got you. Go ahead.
They have software that does that.
That happened to our boy Alex from Sunburster. Because he does IT for the Philadelphia Inquirer. And I think it was last summer he was on call like 24/7 because
of a thing.
Yeah, I think
Butterly's talked about
their
it too.
payroll department got hacked by some fucking Russian ransomware, and
it's always something over there. Butterly told a long ass story about it one time.
There was like a 2-week stretch where like he couldn't practice or play a show. We had that Brooklyn Bowl show that we played. It was right before Jay and I came on for that episode, so maybe it was 2 years ago at this point. Alex was like, yo, you're going to have to play as a 4-piece because I can't even leave the office right now. Damn. He was able to catch a taxi to Brooklyn Bowl for 1 hour, and then he had to go back to work like right after he unplugged off our stage.
God damn.
Yeah.
What a trooper, though.
Like, he's like, we all have to be like in the building, like pursuing this.
You got to have my shit set up by the time I get there. I'm going to have this is my window to
get we had to bring all his gear. And we had to bring it all back, and like all he did was like get dropped. Like, I mean, yeah, he's a trooper for fucking doing it.
Yeah,
he did it.
But he's like, yeah, like I literally have to take a taxi from Old City to Brooklyn Bowl, and then as soon as we unplug, like I gotta bounce.
Fuck yeah, Alex.
He's like, and I still might get in trouble for doing just that.
And when is his goddamn appearance? For Christ's sake!
Well, he canceled last time.
Well, he was sick. He was sick last time.
Yeah.
Anyway, well,
I'll bring him through.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of him and ransomware. This company, they demanded a French multinational energy management company pay them $125,000 in baguettes, or else see its sensitive customer and operational information.
Respect.
It's a French company too, so they really picked the exact right bread, I think.
It would be funny if they asked like a weird like country's like, oh, it's a Chinese company. We want baguettes. Like, we're fucking China, dude.
It's a company from Miami. We want Cuban sandwiches.
Is assuming that like all French people love baguettes as their favorite bread, like assuming like Pat's and Gino's is like the best cheesesteak.
Well,
like is it one of those things where it's
also,
like we have way more baked goods that are better than baguettes?
And it's also assuming that this French company has access to baguettes. What if you're just some neighborhood dickhead in France? You're like, there's no bakery within like 30 miles of me. What do you fuck you want for me to do? You know?
They better be in the city. They know someone who knows someone.
Right.
Fucking French pastry, I'm telling you. Anyway, and yes, you read that right. Payment in baguettes, as in bread. Schneider Electric declined to answer the register's specific questions about the intrusion, including if the attackers really wanted $125,000 in baguettes or if they would settle for cryptocurrency.
Nah, bread.
Yeah. A spokesperson, however, emailed us the following statement. A ransomware crew called Hellcat claimed to have gained access to our infrastructure via the $40 billion energy management giants Atlassian Jira system. This breach has compromised critical data, including projects, issues, and plugins, along with over 400,000 rows of user data, totaling more than 40 gigabytes of compressed data, the criminals posted on their leak site. The miscreants also promised to delete the data as long as the French firm hands over the dough. Yeah, fuck yeah. Failure to meet this demand will result in the dissemination of compromised information, they threatened, stating that this breach will decrease the ransom by 50%. It is your choice, Oliver. Oliver, we'd assume.
Classic Oliver.
Right?
Is Oliver Blum, who on
Oliver
Monday,
close off.
Oliver, not a real name, dog's name, who on Monday was announced as Schneider's new CEO. This is the same day that Hellcat added its multinational to its site of shame, which doesn't make for a pleasant first week on the job. Also, on Monday, Hellcat leaked the data that the group claimed belonged to Jordan's Ministry of Education and Tanzania's College of Business Education.
Now,
yo, I ain't part of no ministry.
You ain't getting no baguettes out of me, dude.
Yo, dude, fucking.
I'll give you some pretzels.
I'll give you some fucking smokes.
Right, let's go back to fucking Hellcat. Also sick. But
also, I'm going to do my news story based off the screenshot.
But, say, all right, you hit up this French company, you what do you call it? You bamboozle them to get the baguettes, right? And then you go, do you think they went after that to like an Italian company? It was like, yo, we want payment in cured meats. And then
I'd want pain bread, honestly.
God damn it, Tom.
We're talking about bread.
I was moving.
Hell yeah.
You fucked up where I was going with it.
Cured
I thought it was the
meats?
car crash.
You
Sorry.
don't have to leave from cured meats.
You hit up get baguettes from the French. You go to the fucking Ities. You get your fucking cured meats. Then you got to find out who has the best spreads.
Like condiments?
Yeah.
Flavors? Sauces?
Like, who would you go to?
The Germans.
Ooh, get a nice German mustard.
That stone ground mustard on some.
I'm listening.
And so it's just you and your crew. Like, you're called the Hellcats. Also sick. But,
Yeah. We got sick ass baseball t-shirts.
Yeah, and it's just that all it is just these three like hacker weirdos in an apartment just compiling
the perfect sandwich.
The greatest sandwich. It's like, why did you do this? You almost brought these companies to their knees and cost all these people their jobs.
Up. And take a bite.
You're just like, yeah, they don't say a word. They just go, and put his face. Then like the cop's just like, free to go. Free to go. I didn't see anything. You boys get out of my face.
Don't let it happen again.
I didn't see nothing. You boys, you fucking straight up fly right.
If you do this again, I'm going to bust you.
Steve, try this fucking sandwich. Like, that's what kind of crime I would do. It would all just be an elaborate ruse to get some sort of sandwich out of it.
Yo.
It wouldn't be for financial gain. Sandwich gains. Or sandwich
Literal
grains.
gains.
And grains. Yeah.
And grains.
Financial grains.
Yeah.
Gluten.
Yeah. That bread joke was pitiful.
All right.
Did you get it?
So I got the screenshot of the headline, and I remember most of the article because I read it multiple times.
I thought you were just going to make up your own story. I'm like, that's sick.
That would be awesome.
Some of it might be, yeah. I think I remember most of it, so some of it might be made up. All right. Okay. Mountain lion that made school go into lockdown turned out to be a fat cat.
Oh, I remember that story.
Like a corporate tycoon or like an actual fat cat?
Like an actual obese cat.
Like
Looks like Garfield.
Fuck yeah, he does. Just thinking about it.
So it was this morbidly obese cat on the school playground, and he was eating a rat that he caught. So it wasn't a staff member of the school. It was like an onlooker or like someone on like their morning walk saw this. So they called it in to the school, and they were like, I think there's a mountain lion on your property. So no like staff member in the school actually witnessed the cat. They just took that tip as like, let's err on the side of caution and lock the school down. So the school was in lockdown for hours because no one knew if this was legit or not, and nobody saw the cat. So they're like, all we're going off of is this person who called us in a panic.
They couldn't find it.
And it's in Washington State. They're up in the mountains where mountain lions exist. Yeah. So they're like, I'm not taking a chance on sending these kids out to recess and having one of them get torn to shreds by a fucking mountain lion.
They should be on the
lookout. You gotta worry about
lookout.
them getting sent off and getting mailed to Abu Dhabi.
You should be looking out for goddamn Sasquatch.
I just imagine someone that looks a lot like Marty, but would have like a Pacific Northwest accent, just being like, I'm pretty sure it's a mountain lion.
Yeah, fucking.
And here's just some fat, lard, pre-diabetic tabby just vibing out on this, just like, thinking about, you know, the sandwich we just described, and he's like, yeah, I'm pretty.
And others.
You're mountain lion.
I guess just like the brutality they saw of like this cat probably tearing this rat to shreds. They were like, oh, that's not just a regular like feral cat.
Yeah.
That's like something bigger.
Not noticing that the rat was just, you know, caked in beef gravy. It was like, dude, he just wanted to eat. I hope like it had a great turnout ending. Like not only do we find out it was a fat cat, but we brought him into the school and he's now the mascot, and his name is Mr. Chubbs. And it's just like a bunch of
co-signed.
Just a bunch of kids around, like Mr. Tubbs in the middle. A bunch of kids just like, oh, Mr. Tubbs. And he's just living a great life.
Well, I've heard about schools locking down in the past because like just like a stray dog would be chilling like on the school grounds, and it's like they're not rabid, they're not like, it's not a coyote or a fucking wolf, it's just like a random fucking mutt just chilling. And they're like, all right, we don't know if like this dog's gonna be cool or not with like kids coming outside, so we're not gonna take any chances. And they would have to like wait till animal control came and picked up the dog. 9 times out of 10 it would just be like a normal ass dog or somebody's pet that got out. And it would be like, oh, like we panicked for nothing. But it's also like, do you take that chance and like send your kids out to recess and have them get like torn to shreds by a fucking like rabid dog? That
actually happened my freshman year of high school. We just got an announcement, go over the speakers, like nobody's permitted outside. There is a dog out front, you know, that's possibly blah, 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 dangerous. And we're like, oh, fuck, that's wild, right? But if you looked out the front window, you saw the dog. It was like a Doberman, just trotting back and forth. And then you saw the one janitor, this dude Steve, just goes out and just goes, and like does like that move and you're like and just like shoos him off and the dog just fucks off. And so like 5 minutes later, this was like, all right, the dog is gone. And we're all just like, all right.
We went in a lockdown once because somebody who was a suspect in something was spotted in the neighborhood that our building was in. So
That's happened
like,
recently, but
yeah, they were like,
the local schools.
somebody that the cops have been looking for was spotted, like just literally just walking down the street, like solo.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
like that fucking escaped guy.
Yeah,
in,
from Pennsylvania.
and like
Chester
it's like
County,
But he came over to
they're presumed armed and dangerous, so you can't approach them. Like we have to lock down the school.
Cavalcante, Renato Cavalcante, I think his name was.
I don't remember.
He was in southern Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I
but
remember.
He crossed over into Delaware.
He was over by Longwood.
Yeah, he was like he was like
He lived
eating veggies out of people's gardens. And,
He was like in Longwood for like a solid fucking week, and they couldn't find him. But like, like they had like I remember seeing on the news they had shut down all the local schools, saying like don't come in, and then this guy's just out like stealing rhubarbs and chomping. Oh god! But the video of him escaping from jail is so fucking funny because he did this thing where like you kind of walk up a wall, like the walls are this close to get up. So like he's got his feet here and his hands up here, and he's kind of doing that thing up there, and he gets into the ceiling, and from there he gets out of the building, and it's like that's all it took for him to get out of a fucking lockup, dude.
Is he like a big parkour guy? Like
Not even,
before
dude.
he got
was
locked
like
up?
some skinny, like Spanish dude.
Like this little dude.
But he was just hiding in a log by Longwood Gardens, sneaking into people's backyards, and they're telling local residents because they hit up my aunt.
turn off like your garden faucets.
Yes.
Because he's surviving off people's like hoses in their backyard for water, and he's like stealing vegetables out of people's gardens.
Only Delaware dudes know what I'm talking about. But my aunt lives up by Snuff Mill, over by that art center that does the hardcore shows. And they're like, yeah, turn off your hoses. If you keep an eye on your gardens, if you see anybody, but stay inside. Don't go anywhere. Don't do this. And she's like, oh, bro, I'm terrified. I'm like,
if he would have made it down that far, there's a house that they just put up a couple years
if
ago.
he made it that far down, he should have gone to Stone Mill and got a fucking cheesesteak, dude.
True.
Bars.
You go. That's okay.
Cheesesteak, I'm saying. Trying to drum up business for our boys.
We know.
I haven't gone yet, so when are we going? When are you guys breaking my cherry?
Well, we got to record another episode.
Night is young. Saying.
Shout out Cooper Sharp.
It's all. Wait, no, it is Wednesday. Never mind. They're not closed today.
They close, what, Mondays?
Yeah, and Tuesdays.
I hate that.
They need a weekend.
Yeah, but come on. Hire some other people. Stay open, ding dongs. The Chinese spot by me is closed on Mondays. I'm like, was there a Monday holiday for you guys? Like, fucking relax.
Yeah, some of
It's a
the
good day to have off.
some of the strict
All their business comes in.
There's
on
so many
weekends.
Chinese people. You can't find some to man the fucking.
some of the strictly like carry out spots, like even the like that not higher end, but like more
this is a strictly carry out spot.
more like lucrative, like or like Grubhub spots, like spots where like you don't necessarily see anybody dining in like at all. Like it's usually just carry out or order out.
Vifo's like that.
Yeah, they'll be closed on like a random day, usually a Monday.
They don't take days off.
You don't see it much anymore, but do you guys remember when you were younger that certain
My faux spot that I always order from is closed on Mondays.
Did you remember like when you were mostly when we were younger, but the local Italian spots would be closed on Sunday.
It's the Lord's Day, man. Those fucking
Yeah.
Roman
I
Catholics
think
don't play.
Napoli is closed on Sunday.
They pivoted it to Monday because they realized how much money they're fucking sitting out.
Have you ever been to a Roman Catholic mass? That shit takes all fucking day, man. You can't open up fucking shop.
Starts at 8, ends at 2.
fucking,
Like,
and it's crushingly boring.
oh
Yeah.
God. I'm sorry, those organs are it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Dude, that's the one thing like I shout out my parents for. They're like, listen, like
Shout out Rick.
just make it to 8th grade, get your confirmation so you can get fucking paid by all your fucking elderly relatives, and then we promise we will never pressure you to do anything for the church ever again. And they kept their end of the bargain. I was like, yo, like I'm not doing that shit anymore.
My folks switched me over to Christianity before I got the Catholic confirmation. I didn't get a dick. I missed so
It
much
wasn't like
opportunity.
bar mitzvah. It wasn't like bar mitzvah money.
Oh, no.
Bar mitzvah, like you break 4 figures.
Yeah.
5.
So yeah, sometimes 5, depending on what fucking tax bracket your relatives are in.
Let's be honest. They're up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Shout out to the sons of Abraham.
But yeah, I remember my dad shooting me straight. He's like, listen, like, your grandmom's going to give you a check for several $100s minimum. Like, just go through the motions and fucking deal with it.
Just do it for them.
Yeah.
And did he give you the bullshit, like, we're going to hold it for you?
No.
Oh, God.
My parents always trusted me with, like, gifted money.
I
mean, they taught me at a very early age, like, if you don't save your money, like, we're not going to fucking bail you out if, like, you want something or need something.
I got a big fucking payout when my dad's dad died, my grandfather. And he left a considerable amount of money to me because I was the last male McGonagall. So he's like, he left me a good amount of money, and they were just like, you can have this amount. And I think it was like $200. The rest we're putting in an account for you.
An account.
Yeah.
The other 500 grand we're putting in.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And that little kid, I was like, $200. That's so much
We're
money.
investing in Enron.
I was really young when this happened. And I was like, all right, fuck yeah. You know, I don't know, so many G.I. Joes and comics. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And then I think I asked about it. I was probably 20. I was like, whatever happened to that? Because I never took anything else out of it again. It's like, well, your dad had a lot of layoffs at General Motors, which he did. And we kind of had to use it. And I was like, all right. No, I understood.
Yeah.
You had to make the machine move. I get it. But I was like, damn, dude. I still have no idea.
Listen, you get free room and board your whole childhood. Sometimes you got to take an L when it comes to, like,
I never actually knew
financial windfall.
What number?
The actual payout was. But my mom just says, oh, it was absurd.
What does that mean, though? Like,
For her, that probably means 4 to 5 figures. For like a kid that was like, I was probably like 8 or 9.
Well, for a child, yeah.
But she's like, it was going to go into like a college thing for me. But pretty early on, I was just like, look, guys, regular school's kicking my ass. I don't think I'm going to go past this. And I'm like, all right. And
yeah, like you'll never be on the hook for some fucking student loans.
Yeah. Then I figured there's like, all right, well, we need to make rent. And this money's here. We need it. Let's do it. And I didn't give a fuck. Really don't mind. But I just wanted to know what the actual figure was. It would have been funny. It was just funny that I got that. My sister got jack shit. That's what she gets for having titties and a pussy. I just had titties.
Well, it's at least like you can begrudgingly admire the situation, or not admire, but respect the situation. I should say, because like they didn't blow the money on some dumb shit.
No.
Like, oh, we needed this money to get by,
and I could actually.
So you can't really hold a grudge if it was like a do or die situation, and like we needed to pay some bills, we needed to keep food on the table, like we needed to stay afloat while Dad was laid off.
Yeah.
I get that. It wasn't like, oh, like mom invested in Beanie Babies and, you know, fucking blew the advance on some fucking Princess Di Bears.
Yeah. But, and also, I remember so many fucking layoffs from General Motors at the time.
Yeah.
That I knew that it was legit, because there was times that he went like a year and a half to 2 years without work, just living off of unemployment. So I knew that it wasn't. And I knew the house didn't suffer, so I knew they were paying for me and my sister. So I was like, all right, yeah, that works. That's fine. I don't give a shit. I would have spent it on just dumb shit anyway.
Beanie Babies.
At 20? Oh, God, I'd be like, yo, Daddy Barry, we're going on a fucking tour, dude.
We're going to Europe, guys.
Yeah. No,
Dead and Buried gets a Winnebago.
Yeah, we're getting a bus. We're touring in a bus.
Oh, can I snort perks off the fucking steering wheel? I don't see why not. You know what? I'll buy us some perks, too. Do you want to get into homework?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Every week, Tom and I, and now Michael, assign each other a piece of music and a piece of comedy. Now, we also asked that our guests take part as well. Now, last week, Michael had to coach a game. Did you win, by the way?
We did not.
Oh, unfortunate. Well,
and it was the last game I'll probably coach in the foreseeable future, because middle school sports are cut.
End of an era. Smart water me. But yeah, that's so. Last week we had Tony Poconos and surly ass Larry here off frame.
Yeah,
they were here. Do you want to get into? Let's get into what Anthony brought first. Also, check out Parlay Philly for all your Philadelphia area sports needs. Football, baseball, everything. The Masters. Yeah, it's a sweet gear, sweet boy. Go to his pop-ups.
He's all right.
Support him. He's a good guy. Angry, very angry young man.
For some reason, yes.
Like I thought Larry was angry, but Anthony's pretty. Up there,
He
too.
was.
All right,
I think
listen,
listen. He usurped him as the surly one. I
Yeah.
think.
You guys have grown up in this area just like the rest of us. You know how passionate legit Philly sports fans are.
Yes.
And you touched a nerve.
I did.
You certainly did. Like, listen, just call it what it is.
Yeah.
I did not fuck up. I will not call it that. Because I'll give you this.
All I will say, as a neutral party in all of this, is
Oh, so you're going against the team?
no. I'm fucking Switzerland over here.
Tommy, it's his last day.
Who are you telling?
Never go against the family.
I knew it was you, Michael.
Listen, no, I like having I respect having teachable moments with my best friends and the people that I hold nearest and dearest. And if I know I crossed the line or touched a nerve to the point where like one of my good friends was like, "Yo, chill," like I'm like, okay, like
Yeah.
You know
like
what?
I did some bullshit right there. Like I admit it. Like sorry.
I agree with that, and I also did. I understood it much better when he explained the context of the team's victory.
In Tommy's defense, it's hard for someone who didn't grow up a sports kid to understand that
The passion.
fervor. You know what I mean?
Also, though, passion aside, my point was that he took it as like the annoying little brother response.
Yeah. Not
because
just you breaking his balls.
because I was doing both. I responded to what he said immediately. Within seconds, I typed out, "I hope they lose now,"
Yeah.
because it was the first dumbest thing I could think of at that second.
Yeah.
And I did not even consider.
Yeah, to your
fact.
credit, it was an innocent joke, but sometimes innocent jokes touch a nerve.
Especially with Philadelphia sports fans.
And
It's like if
Well,
It's-
if your button is this fucking big,
yeah. Also, like if Tommy was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out for a jog," I'd be like instantly I'd be like, "I hope both your ankles break."
yeah.
Right? And he'd just be like, "Nah, dick," just move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Philadelphia sports fans, like,
Yeah,
you can do that with a Baltimore sports fan, and they're like, "Ah, fuck you, get out of here." But Philadelphia is
Old Bay
it's a different
crabs.
thing. But
no,
Old Bay chips.
I've had
Old Bay chips are banging though.
I've had situations like this in the past. That's like, I mean, you know how some of our friends can be just like nitpicky and sensitive about very niche things, and
they might play guitar for Sunburst.
well,
My-
yeah,
my
like that's the
gears are
thing.
turning.
Like I don't feel like I have to walk on eggshells with a person, but I also feel like, all right, like I know what's off limits with this guy
Yeah.
or this gal. So for the sake of our friendship and for the sake of like, keeping the peace, like as innocent as I think it is on my end, like I'm not gonna go there because I'm not gonna ruin this motherfucker's day.
Yeah, I just remember saying, I was like, "Look, I know you got mad at the kid." It was like, but I was just as much of a dick. He's like, "Yeah, but you've always been an asshole." I'm like, "Yeah, checks out." But Anthony brought us Dillinger 4,
Yes.
Midwestern songs. I'll start.
Yes, he did.
Normally on this pod, I kick myself for having slept on a band I was actually around for. This is not one of those times. Ew, dude. This honks. Fat Records and Music with Tim Armstrong vocals. Hard fucking pass. 1 out of 10. I gave it a 1 because the bass track is actually audible, but I minused it 10 more points because it reminded me of how much those bands loved Airwalks. This fucking sucks.
My review is pretty much the same. Immediately fucking no. This is not for me at all. 0. It was so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Fucking Ant likes some good shit, but he definitely,
Everybody's a lot of a stinker.
yeah.
This is one of those bands like I've always known about. I've seen them on flyers and seen them everywhere.
Their name is familiar to me. but I've never heard them before.
They've always been on shows that like maybe I just didn't necessarily gravitate towards at that time in my life. Like when I was younger, like that kind of stuff didn't resonate with me as much as some of it does now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those bands that never stuck with me in my youth. It's a little easier to listen to now. It might not be something I revisit, but solid punk jams with tight riffs, good hooks. The production value was good for the time period that it came out. I enjoy it in hindsight. It's just one of those bands that I feel like I don't want to say missed out on, but I just kind of like they were just kind of like background noise during their heyday when I could have been paying attention to them and just chose not to. Not my thing personally. Like I like other bands that do this way better. And we'll get to one of the records that Larry brought to the table. They're a prime example. Yeah, but it was cool. Like I nothing about this record like knocked my socks off, nor did it like offend me. Like it's just I always felt like they're one of those bands that was always there, and I just never capitalized on like following them like other people did.
To me, it sounded like, seriously, if you had added the little chiki 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 ska riff and really stupid lyrics, this would have been No Effects.
I wouldn't go that far.
Not far off. Larry also, Anthony also brought us Static Clone's Better Living Through Static Vision. I will say ahead of time, this is a biased review because I know two of the guys in this band.
Same.
But it's funny hearing a band that sounds like Old Cathedral mixed with Motorhead from two dudes who always told me they hated metal. It's still a really good release, and I gave it a 9. I really, really enjoyed this. And where I will give these guys their flowers is first off, they never went with X blacklisted on it, though they are. They could easily use that to push themselves forward, but they opted not to do that, and I respect that. And also, it has 0 similarities between the two bands. And I respect the fuck out of that. They're like, you know what? New band, new shit. Let's do something different. Let's not like fucking cash in on our old success.
Right.
Let's do something different. And I think it's really good. I think one thing I will say is sometimes the songs are a little long, but it's just funny listening to the bands that have like those like kind of like Sabbathy, cathedral-y, solo-y type parts from two guys that were like, you know, like would make fun of me for liking metal bands. But it is still a very good release. The production's great. I like it quite a bit, and I want to hear more.
I also gave it a 9 out of 10. And I also said that this is totally motorcycle music.
But cool motorcycle.
Yeah, not in a bad way.
Not at all. I could live without the intro, but I get it. And also, I was triggered by the 2 kick drum sound. Just that. Because I was like, oh no, Dropkick Murphys.
Oof.
Because that one song. But the second song is super motorcycle hardcore. I'm here for it. All the tracks are kind of all over the board genre-wise, I guess. But all I have, like, they all have this, like, overarching, like, darkness to it. Not in a down-tuned or, like, crusty or black metal-y or, like, heavy way, though. But it's just, like, super cool. There's something that it's just, like, dark.
Well, we've talked about this before on the pod, the Entombed death and roll era.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more that than it is Motorhead. Like
that era is also very Motorhead.
Well, that's very inspired by Motorhead, but I feel like this falls more under that Entombed style because.
Well, that's why I went with the Cathedral.
Yeah,
reference.
well, that's the thing. It's Entombed death and roll parts married to Sabbath riffs and big fat party animal vocals. Like this checks every box for me. But we've played with this band and they've always been cool to us and they've always been a good hang. Oh yeah, they're incredible.
Awesome.
So I don't know if I can give it an impartial score, but I would still give it a 9 out of 10 just because it's that good of a record.
9's all around.
Yeah, Sausage is a really good guy too. Dave Sausage is a really good guy.
Yeah,
and his lyrics. Just so fucking good at writing lyrics.
The guy's a fucking weirdo. I like George, but he's a weirdo. But lyrically,
you can't fuck with the guy.
Yeah. It's like, God damn it, dude. It's like, I want to make fun of you, but these lyrics are really good.
But I like that he changes up
everything he does.
His vocal style for this.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't sound like
not sound
George.
like
yes. I like that.
It just sounds
like that
fucking good.
so much. And it's kind of just gives him more flowers. Like, oh, no matter what I try and how I try it, it's going to turn out good.
Yeah.
And fucking good for you, dude. That rips, dude. I like it. The thing that Larry brought us, the one thing I just didn't get a chance to sit down and watch. He brought us that weird...
the documentary?
That was Anthony.
It was Anthony.
That was Anthony?
I also forgot to do that.
I watched it, so I'll bring my review.
I put it in my YouTube queue and I didn't watch it yet.
I just haven't had time to sit and take it.
Do yourself a favor and watch it.
The way he explained it to me was fucking. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I put this was a phenomenal watch. This guy is living my retirement dream.
Dick Pronkey.
I got to step my building shit from scratch game up to get on this dude's level. 10 out of fucking 10. Like this is what I want to do when I'm like done with work, done with everything, done with everyone, and like I move off the grid. Like not some like Ruby Ridge like sketchy shit.
No, that's
like,
where I'd go. Totally Ted K.
Yeah, like I would legit like get like a cool ass cabin in the middle of fucking nowhere and not like live off the land, but like just be a fucking recluse.
I'd be the halfway point, a tiny house at the edge of the forest. I still want to shit indoors.
But this guy was building tools literally from scratch. Like he was building shit to use to build other shit.
I see that and I'm just like, I am not a fucking man.
I know, right? It's
That's
such
the thing.
A man thing.
This guy who looks like he's at death's door is living my fucking dream. Like this guy's doing cooler shit at 80 than I'll ever fucking do in my prime.
I will report back on this later because I do plan on watching this. Larry brought us one record and one record only.
Shout out Larry.
He's like, yeah, this is all you're going for you. Peg Boys.
Italy.
And in his voice, Cha Cha D'Amore. I was like, all right. This is quick. See Dillinger 4 review, but swap those raspy, breathy vocals for Chain Wallet and Jort's vocals. Nah, I'm good, fellas. But hit me up if you want to go steal parking cones later. Zip out of 10. It's basically, it's the same exact vibe from the Dillinger 4 record. But this was,
I like Peg Boy. Like Peg Boy was one of those like that style punk bands that slipped through the cracks after I aged out of other bands like this.
Like I remember Peg Boy is that you had to be like the kids that would have like the NoFX back patch, the Pennywise back patch, blah blah blah. But if you saw somebody with like a Peg Boy patch, you're like, oh, he's real.
Yeah,
he's legit, dude. Like he's not like getting that easy to grab shit. He went like that's a somewhat of a deep dive back then.
Yeah, like
I slept on it back then, and I'm like, I'm fine.
It's hard edged punk that sounds like all the melodic like West Coast skate punk with like, you know, it doesn't have lyrics that sound like a horny 16-year-old kid in your school's fucking BD class wrote. It's one of the few bands of this ilk that has replay value in 2025 for me. So yeah, I like this band. I don't love them, but they're still cool to me, despite other bands of this genre like not standing the test of time.
Shout out to Having Ilk. I said,
Shout out to who?
Having Ilk.
Oh, Ilk is sick, dude.
Is this street punk?
No.
It's
more like skate punk.
Yeah, like it sounds like that like Orange County fucking skate punk shit from the 90s that like the riffs were always cool, but I didn't want to hear about songs about like jerking off and
street punk was always like more pseudo oi.
Yeah.
Is that not what
I wouldn't call this oi at all. It sucks like oi, but it's I wouldn't say it's the same.
It's
genre.
like meathead pop punk.
It sounds like something I'd hear on a Vans Off the Wall comp or
exactly.
a Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
That flies.
This review is going to be underwhelming. I didn't hate it being on, but I will never listen to music like this. The fact that I didn't immediately dislike it, even if it is, I didn't immediately dislike it. It is even weird for this type of music. Shout out to Dog. I will say,
great song title.
I will say about the recording itself, I really enjoyed the drum sound. It sounded like a great room mic, good producer. By song number 9, though, it was starting to get a little annoying. Personally, I don't need another Surrender cover, and I'm surprised to see that they're still playing shows. They have one coming up in San Diego.
God, how old are they now?
Who knows? 4.5.
Older than me.
Yeah, I was about to say they're probably pushing 60.
Yeah.
They're on the road with Cockspar.
There's God, now I'm really not going.
That's where you got that the street punk thing.
I'm kidding. I'm just talking about how old they are.
Oh.
I think Cockspar is actually older than that. Like those guys are probably in their 70s.
Jesus H Christ.
They've been around forever.
Too long?
Yes. You would have said that to me in 1980. I'm like, yeah, too long. Get him out.
Yeah.
Send him home.
Wrap it up, boys.
See you at the food court.
Yeah, let me get started with what Dennis brought.
All right.
Me. You brought it was biased, but we did it anyway. It was NJ Bloodline's EP, Be Afraid.
I gave it a pass because he's been dead for over 5 years.
Oh, just that? Okay.
Yeah.
This is short. I said, hell yeah.
Really?
How about the title track clearly being about using meth or something?
Oh, yeah.
He's all skin and bones.
You're a cocksucker.
Looking just like a stick, getting fucked in the ass with a big glass dick.
Yeah, boy.
That's all I have to say. Fucking 7.
What?
All right.
What did you think of the drumming?
It's good.
For that type of music,
good.
That drumming was fucking fire.
I think musically across the board, it was more sophisticated than like other bands of like cut from that cloth.
Oh, yeah. They were they're ahead of many of those contemporaries of that kind of music.
Yeah. All right.
It impressed me.
So I put NJ Bloodline, Be Afraid record. An EP I've been very familiar with for many, many years. Tons of wignorant 90s bands I loved in the actual 90s did not age well or just don't make the cut at 42 years old, but this is not one of them. This EP still holds up. The title track still has one of the hardest build-ups to one of the hardest breakdowns ever, minus the problematic language. It's one of the most covered songs by newer, lesser New Jersey bands, but it still doesn't bore me when I listen to it, so that must say something. I guess I'm more of a super fan of that one song than I am of the rest of the EP, but it was still a cool trip down memory lane, and, this album still goes pretty hard, 7 out of 10.
That song, LETS, is one of the hardest
fucking
songs.
Hard.
Rest in peace, Enrique. I hope you're resting peacefully, you silly little guy. All right, this is
such a solid name.
He had his issues, but he was a sweet fucking guy. Really welcoming to new people and just a great person, which from South Jersey is saying a lot. But you brought me.
Were they South Jersey or were they like?
They were South. Yeah,
I thought they were up north with like.
No.
Where like E-Town and like that area.
More central.
Sworn Enemy or
more central.
Sworn Enemy was New York.
They're like kind of like central, like same area that like Fury was from.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah. Not like actual North Jersey. That's like by upstate New York.
But you brought me the album. You brought me was Behemoth's Demigod. Behemoth records are always well made and very well played records, but god damn are they fucking boring. I gave it a 2. Like the musicianship is really well done. They're very talented players, and like all the boxes on them, like I should like this, but it's just like this is a slog to get through. But I will say I've never heard a Behemoth record that I was like, oh, they like the production's always top notch, the playing's always top notch, but it's just like they always bored the shit out of me. But I will give what I do want to give them is live.
They're the heaviest band I've ever.
They always
absurd. But so if to me this is not.
I've never seen them voluntarily, but I've never been disappointed by seeing them.
But it's like if they had found a way to take their live sound and show that to me in recorded form, this would be a completely different review. Because live Behemoth is fucking absurd. But just listening to the records, you're kind of just like, eh. But I also saw them before I listened to a record. So maybe if I had gone the other direction.
Oh, they would have
been let down.
Yeah, they would have fucking blew your pants off.
But it just didn't hit for me. Sorry.
You guys, last week you guys called bands like Dysphere and Tragedy stadium crust.
Yeah.
This is stadium death metal.
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, it's stadium blackened death metal with top dollar production, top dollar precision, musicianship. All that stuff is a 10 out of 10. I was just never a Behemoth guy. Even during their heyday, which this album is like the pinnacle of.
Was this like the album?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's undeniable as far as like what goes into it. it's just not, a top pick for me when I want to listen to blackened death metal. And it's cool. It's super well done. Like, as far as the craftsmanship behind it, it's 10 out of 10. But as far as like my interest, it's a 5 out of 10.
I just think of that like.
So I'll meet in the middle and I'll call it a 7.
I just like if I bought a new Behemoth record and listened to it, I wouldn't be mad that I bought it, but I would never put it on again. Huh. You know what I mean? Like, for that one listen, you're like, all right, that was fine, but I would never think about it ever again. Mm-hmm. Now, if they were playing within like an hour for me, and you were like, yo, let's go see Behemoth. Yeah, let's go see Behemoth. Why not?
Absolutely.
Let's fucking go. Yeah. So, you also brought me the Don't Tell special of Simon Fraser. This is quick. This guy stinks. 0 out of 10. I didn't laugh. That's all I can say about it.
Your funny bone must be broken.
Maybe, but this shit, nothing got me.
This is like 3 weeks in a row.
I mean,
you stink. It's not them. It's you.
Maybe. Maybe. I have been in a fucking rut lately. Maybe.
Well,
but I mean, this was a short set. It was 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's honestly, that's one of the greatest. You can watch a set in one shit.
I didn't know of the term St. Louis lesbian.
Me neither.
Until he referenced his haircut. Some of his jokes were okay. Like, the edging joke was okay. The looking at his phone on a date joke was pretty funny. Like, I that made me audibly laugh. Ranch dressing should be called cowboy cream. And the one joke that I thought was like his best joke was British insults are better because we don't have guns. So that
was clever.
That was clever, yeah, and like that's what made me laugh harder than like it actually being funny. Like, it was actually like a really creative joke. It was okay. I don't even think I gave this a rating. I didn't. It was just it was cool. Like,
now, Tommy, we force each other to watch comedy week in, week out, right?
Force is right.
Like, is there times where you're just like, you kind of find yourself recently just like looking at it, like watching a special, and just instead of laughing, you're like, that was a well-crafted joke.
Sometimes.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes.
And you're kind of like, oh my God, have I gotten that far gone that like I can't
just laugh.
Yes. You're like, oh, that was well-crafted.
Sometimes
and not just like
hard,
laughing at it. Yeah.
Often I do that.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
It's much like the assignment that you gave me that I didn't review yet.
You didn't review it yet?
You gave me.
Oh, that also means you didn't listen to it yet.
You gave me Dana Gould's new special, Perfectly Normal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Dana Gould is like a fucking
he was my first favorite comic.
I can tell this guy's a writer first and a comic second.
He is a comics comic in that everyone refers to his writing as being bulletproof.
Which is also a sneaky way to say his stand-up stinks.
Well,
I don't think it stinks at all.
Well,
I don't think his presence is quite there. His jokes are great.
His jokes, they're written. I'll say that. This special's from 2025.
Yeah.
Or so it must have been recorded within the last year. I have to assume, at some point.
Probably.
Liberace reference and a weather premise to start.
Weather is sick though.
But an owl saying why instead of who was really fucking funny for some reason. Like a fucking joke like that knocked me over for a second. I was like, just dude, why?
The joke about like getting like vegetarians trying to shame you. Like, you'll eat a steak, but you won't watch them murder the cow. He's like, yeah, I love my brother, but I don't want to watch my parents fuck.
Yeah.
That one was expertly
good.
Written joke.
And
that was one of those moments I had. I was like,
the three main Halloween decorations you see at the store: Dracula, Frankenstein, and older woman.
Yeah.
For some reason, that one made me snort pretty hard.
That one fucked me up too.
The winter after January 1st bit that he had was pretty great, and it's relatable because, like, after New Year's, like, what do you have to look forward to other than like that lull before like spring hits? Mm-hmm. Like, especially as a teacher, I don't know. I guess that joke made me laugh extra hard. The marriage jokes about Hitler and Manson were pretty funny. if I had to cast anyone for a plague scene in a movie, I'd go to a Whole Foods.
Because they all look, malnourished.
I mean, I liked it. I liked it, but I could definitely tell he's a writer. Like, he could probably write some of the funniest shit for, like, a skit.
Well, he wrote for your favorite TV show. He was a Simpsons writer.
Was he really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Some of your favorite episodes, too. Look them up.
I didn't even know that. I learned something new today.
Look that fucker up.
Well, the rest of my review goes, 18 minutes went by, and I still hadn't laughed. Around minute 22 or 23, when he got into the vaccine shit and his brother stuff, I was like, woof, dude. This pains me as someone as funny as Dana putting out something as unfunny as this. The first chuckle I got was people who only eat health foods get sick every day. The sun pierces the veil of night and they don't feel good was an unbelievable line. And when he was talking about Michael Jackson and he said, who wouldn't have thought a glow-in-the-dark skeleton dressed like Napoleon and lived by himself with a feral chimp would have a creepy dark side? This was also a slog to get through and should have been a little funnier. But when I finally looked at the screen, I was like, he has a fucking Britney Spears mic on. I couldn't believe that for some reason. A fucking Mike Birbiglia mic.
Yeah.
Fucking 0.5 out of 10.
Hey, I guess that...
Hey, got a 0.5?
I didn't.
It made me chuckle.
I didn't.
Once or
I
two
didn't
times.
like watch it as much as I listened to it because I was like,
Same.
I was moving around the house doing shit, and I had it on loud enough where I was listening to it like intently, but I just wasn't watching the TV screen as much. So I don't think I noticed the headset mic.
Yeah,
I didn't until halfway through.
Right. It took me looking over because I had headphones in so that I could hear it better, but I wasn't like watching.
And I noticed he was wearing dunks with a suit, which is like my most hated fucking outfit choice of all time.
He's old.
It's like classic fucking struggling writer outfit.
I can't imagine who's going to see him now.
I'd go.
Oh,
well,
he was funny enough where like I would want to hear more from him.
I'd be very, very curious to see if he's funny in person.
Now that I know he's a classic golden era Simpsons writer, like that just makes me want to watch him more.
Look up his episodes; they're good ones too. I'm pretty sure not Linguo, Mojo, the helper monkey was him.
Fuck.
It was him and Conan, right?
Him and Conan were right in there. And like Jim Downey and all those guys.
Conan, David Merkin.
He's in that era.
Conan and Merkin are like the meat of like seasons 5 and 6.
Yeah.
And some of 7. Before that, and that was like right when Conan's like talk show took off.
Yeah.
And he was pretty much like all in.
Gold was in that same circle that like that's like a 3-year span. But like I said, he was my first like comedian that I found on my own that I was like, this is my guy right here, you know, not like whatever your dad or whoever showed you. You're like, this is my dude. Of course, he got pushed out of that pretty fucking quickly, but I still will go see anything he does just because that was your first guy. But Tom, what do you got for me this week?
Let me see. I'm trying to decide here.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Actually. Okay. Oh, fuck me. I'll give you does everybody here have Hulu?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to do something really weird and give 2 specials. Is that too much?
No.
Okay. One is one I watched a couple of days ago, one I watched actually just today.
The new Burr?
Yes. Bill Burr's Drop Dead Years.
Been meaning to watch it.
Yes.
I was finally going to assign a comedy special for homework, and that was it.
Oh, my bad. Well, then,
No.
No. You know what? You assign that.
No. Fucking just,
I got plenty of shit on this
It's homework for everybody. Just
Okay,
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Does not matter. It's one less thing I got to talk about now.
Let's make it a blanket across everybody. The other special is a guy Tom and I'm sure you know who he is too, Chris Distefano. It's Just Unfortunate. Is also on Hulu.
Is that what it's called?
It's Just Unfortunate. Yes. Is the name of the special.
I love Distefano, but I mean I think it's been talked about ad nauseum on this platform.
This is better than the last one.
He's phenomenal when he's just talking shit on a podcast.
Yeah.
His stand-up leaves a little bit to be desired.
This is better, but you'll still get a little bit of that, but it's a lot better. All right, then I'll give you a record too, since we're doing a blanket Bill Burr thing. This record is a band called Languid, Languid.
Linguo.
That is a sentence fragment. This album is really fucking cool ass name. You ready for this name of this album? Shove their systems up their asses. What?
That'll show them.
Fuck yeah, dude. Right up their ass, dude. Right up it. No, not to the side of it. Up that fucker.
Take that, Principal Dondelinger.
This bra bomb better work, nerdlinger.
Yay.
Tommy. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Comedy, I'm going to give you a half hour.
Okay.
I just recently saw. The comic's name is Clayton English. And it's called I Bought All the Obama Merch.
Fire.
Fuck yeah.
It made me
Is
laugh.
it a Don't Tell or?
I think it's a Comedy Central special on YouTube,
Oh, so.
if I remember
Even
correctly.
in worse of a black hole than the Don't Tell special. That poor guy.
Yeah.
That's a great title.
Yeah. And for the record, I'm going to give you a record I think you've definitely probably heard before, but this is for everybody and listeners alike.
Yeah.
The band is called Fluids,
Mm-hmm.
and the record is Exploitative Practices.
Nice.
Fucking hard ass samples. That's what I'll say.
Is this the one that opens up with the police officer
Yeah.
giving the testimony? This is the record I fuck with.
Yeah.
It's
the
so
records are
good.
great.
I mean, they're all good, but this is the one.
Yeah. What do you got?
And how many times would you say you broke the law? Hundreds.
What do you got, Mike?
It's so hard.
This is a lot of homework already. Do you want one or two? Because I have a LP and an EP.
What do you think, Tom?
Let's do one.
All right, I'm just gonna give you one EP. It's gonna be a super easy listen. It's a hardcore band from Korea.
There'll be much more homework.
Yeah, and I've got a whole list of things that I can bring to the table later.
Same.
This is an EP, 8 songs, super fast, super easy listen. Band's called Scumraid,
Cool name.
all one word,
Ooh. They hate spaces.
right?
Okay, what's the album called?
The End.
I can already picture the cover.
It says it was released in 2024, but they're only on Bandcamp, by the way. They're not on any other streaming.
Fuck.
So,
Ask a
sorry.
punk. Ask a punk.
I'm getting conflicting release dates. One part it says 2024, but then it says it was like just released like last month, 2025.
Well, maybe it was released in Korea or wherever, and then
Maybe
it made it here.
it's one of those things where I'm like, wow, I just found out about this band. This is going to be on my top releases of 2025 list for sure. And then it's like, oh wait, it says 2024. So
Yeah.
who knows?
That happens shit a lot with that stuff. I'm like, would that come?
All I can tell you is this shit's a fucking ripper.
I already pictured it being a black and white cover. It's black border. That's not me. Black border. In the middle is like a white pencil drawing of like a fucking bombing or something. I heard it, but it's not me.
It's black and white, but it's like it's like a live shot.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, it's
Also
pretty
still pretty sweet though.
pretty generic, but don't go by that.
Very punk of them.
Yeah.
to do that.
Up the punks, dog.
We will not be doing homework next week because
We have a special, brand new
we have
segment.
we have a new thing coming to
right,
you guys
right.
next week. So homework will not occur next week.
Yeah.
It will be the following. Sorry, Josh.
It'll be. It'll probably be a sensation, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week for a little special treat.
Yeah. A little something different.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I love you more than I can say. I love you twice as much tomorrow. Love you more than I can say. Oh, yeah, yeah. I miss you every single day. Why must my life be feel so long? I love you more than I can say. Thank you.